Booyakasha! This is Michelangelo, aka Greg Sipes. You're listening to Ninja Turtle Power Hour. That's what's up!
Welcome to Ninja Turtle Power Hour. I'm Spencer.
I'm Keith.
I'm Cody.
And I'm Mike.
Damn it, Cody.
Every time
I was going to say welcome back to Spencer because I felt bad that we were all being quiet, but
I know.
We were just giving them space.
I couldn't tell doing a joke on him or
that's the thing. That's the magic. That gap, you never fucking know.
Spencer, what are we doing tonight?
Tonight we're covering Turtles Forever, the first Turtleverse crossover ever done.
Oh man, we're also closing the door on the pre-Nickelodeon era.
The Mirage era.
I mean, we've covered some Nickelodeon era TMNT stuff, but this is like the final big Mirage thing, like before Peter sold the franchise.
Yeah.
So what a hell of a send off for not just the 2003 series, but like this era.
Yeah. This door isn't closed forever, by the way. You know, eventually, years from now, one day when we get
no, it's one of those doors where you push through, Spencer, and on the other end there's no.
On everything I just said, I was giving this thing its flowers, and it was like oh,
Spencer,
yeah.
You went out the back of the warehouse, and there's no handle on either side, so that you can't get back in.
I'm just saying, one day we will get to covering Tales Volume 2. You know, we will get to covering Tales Volume 2. Maybe at the very least, the Shark Shredder story. You know,
we've put a little tape over the latch of the door so we can get back in if we need to.
It's very unsecure. Anybody can waltz in.
Right.
But with that, let me tell you okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, what was it? What was it, Mike? What was it?
I'm gonna give it a little more of a pomp and circumstance because this was like this was a TV movie. Like this wasn't just a finale episode like Wedding Bells and Bites over there. This is the true finale for the 2003 series. Like, and I remember this when this came out. Like it was a huge event for Fox Kids. At the time, and you can really tell like they put a shit ton of effort into this for as much as they could. And I said it when we talked about it on our Thanksgiving episode before like Cody started that this was one of my favorite pieces of TMNT media. Or no, it wasn't our Thanksgiving episode. I forget.
This is our 100th episode.
Was it? Which one was it?
100th.
Was it our 100th episode? God,
yeah.
It's up to 300 episodes now. But yeah, this was one of my favorite pieces of TMNT media, and honestly, it still is.
I don't know like how I knew about this because I hadn't watched the show for at least 3 years at this point. But I remember like
same.
Like getting ready to watch this. I was at work. I was working the front desk of a dormitory. And so there was like nothing to do. So I remember watching this. My friend Beth came up and was talking to me. Like, Beth, you won't believe what I'm watching. And she's like, you seem so excited. I'm going to just let you be. I think I watched it like 2 or 3 times that weekend. And I maybe tried to watch it one other time, but I really haven't seen it since then. I'm amazed how much I loved it, given it's been 17 years since I've seen it. And I knew I liked it, but man, I really fucking liked it watching it again.
Yeah, no, and I mean, for me, so like I was still faithfully watching the show at this time. I wasn't liking season 7 as much as I liked season 6 in the previous seasons, but like I remember my mom at a certain time of day would make us stop having to watch cartoons. We'd have to start working on chores and things on Saturday. But like I was able to like convince her to let me be able to like get started on my chores later so I could see this movie. Like this movie was a big deal, you know?
Yeah.
And And even watching it now, like, I don't know, because when you watched it then, it was like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is like, they're done with this series. Like, I remember like knowing the series was done. And so like I still even got like a little bit of that like bittersweet nostalgia watching it again as an adult. I don't know. There's something about like when you've watched a show for a long time and you watch like that final finale episode where you get like that bittersweet feeling where it's like it's finally the end, but you're also kind of like sad it's over. And yeah, apparently I still get this when I watch this movie because it's been a minute since I've watched it, but
Yeah.
I watched it and you get hit with that same kind of like feeling, like, oh man, this series is over. Like I don't know, it's almost like saying goodbye to your childhood again or something. I don't know. But I love this movie.
And it is kind of funny because like in a way, like this is Peter Laird saying goodbye to to this era, like, and to the Turtles. So yeah, it is bittersweet, but life at best is bittersweet. So
Cody, where were you?
At this time, I like I would tangentially see the show on TV at some like because you'd like occasionally watch Saturday morning cartoons, but like the show never really grabbed me, so I like never. I don't even think I watched Turtles Forever at all back then. And the closest around that time, like I did go see the movie in theaters when the 2007 movie. But other than that, I was pretty checked out of Turtles until 2012.
I was looking up the timeline here. So this movie came out November 21st, 2009. October 21st of 2009 was when Laird announced that he had sold the franchise. So this is like very much the end of his involvement with the franchise for a long time.
Yeah, it's interesting too because like I was always like my favorite part of the Turtles was the toys, really. So really I never associated like Eastman and Laird with the Turtles at all for like a long time. Yeah. So like even knowing that it wouldn't have, it would just been like, oh, there's the old timey guys that started Turtles, I guess. I can't remember when I first would have realized it because you were aware that there was comics, but I just never cared for a long time.
I didn't know about the comics at all until I saw this. Like this is when I learned that the comics existed, and I think I knew that the 87.
You thought this was like the only version of the Turtles. You saw the glimpses, and you're like, my God.
For a lot of my childhood, like this was Turtles, right? I didn't know about the 87 ones. I remember we had like a Ninja Turtles book that was like the first battle or whatever. Like it's like an adaptation of when the Turtles save April or whatever, like in the movie. And I remember looking at it and being like, they look weird. Like, why do they look like this? Kind of thing. Reading like that 87 book, I was like, this isn't how the turtles normally look. Why do they look weird? I think at some point before this, I knew that there was an earlier cartoon, but like I just didn't know anything about it. I hadn't seen the 87 series at all. So in a lot of ways, this was also my like introduction to the 87 Turtles.
Yeah, I can't remember if I knew of the comics at this time. I think like 2007 when that movie came out, I kind of started digging around into it, but this like really kicked me off into the Mirage comics.
Yeah. Like basically I'd seen this, so I knew the comics existed. And then when the Michael Bay movie was announced that it was coming out, like that first Platinum Dunes movie, the 2014 Ninja Turtles movie, I guess is what you would call it. I seeked out the comics. I found them on like the Mirage website, and I read like those original comics, and that's what like got me like really into comic books. Basically, from there, I finally started like looking for more comic books because I really enjoyed those original Mirage comics. They were a ton of fun, and it kind of turned it into the hobby that I have now.
Man, I miss.
But you didn't search out the Dreamwave comics.
Yeah, I really miss reading those old Mirage comics on the Mirage website because my computer was like just short enough that I had to scroll ever so slightly on every page.
Yeah,
it was so annoying, but man, it was so cool and so worth it.
I had to like manually zoom up on them with my phone because I was reading it from my phone, like from I guess it wasn't my phone; it was like an iPod Touch, but
Yeah.
But I was like
That sounds
zooming
like a
in
pain.
and reading it, going
How
around.
thick are your glasses nowadays?
My vision is awful, actually. I think my contacts are like a negative. They might be worse than negative 3.5. It might be negative 3.75, or it might be past negative 4 now. I don't know, but
I don't think
I'd have to
that's
look at my
not
prescription again.
like a crazy range.
I mean, like, things are blurry until they're like a couple feet from my face. So I don't know. I feel like that's kind of bad.
I mean,
Like
like
that's when they
nearsighted or
come into
farsighted, but
focus.
like the strength of your prescription doesn't sound that high to me. People go way
Okay.
higher.
Well, I think I'm pretty blind.
Oh no, like that's what you think sometimes, but then you realize like some people literally like have you seen the videos where people are like, "Do you wear your glasses in the shower?" And they're like, "Yeah, because I can't
What?
see without them."
That's
Like,
insane.
they're
Just get by on
if
feel.
Duh.
that's why I'm lucky. I don't know. I can never remember if it's nearsighted or farsighted, but I'm fine without my glasses on, unless you want me to like read things that are more than like
I'm
5 feet
near.
away.
Well, without further ado, let me tell you a story.
Let me tell you a story.
So, Turtles Forever, original air date November 21st, 2009. This week's summary is going to be brought to you by the old Wikipedia. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles watch a video broadcast of warriors who look like them fighting the Purple Dragons on TV. The Turtles break into the Purple Dragons HQ and discover that their imposters are actually alternate versions of themselves. The teams escape together. The 1987 Turtles reveal they arrived after fighting their Shredder and Krang over mutagen in the Technodrome. During the battle, the dimensional teleporter malfunctioned, sending them all to the 2003 dimension. Checking recent Tremor reports, the Turtles find the Technodrome only to have to battle an army of foot soldiers led by Bebop and Rocksteady. 1987 Shredder sees the two Turtle teams and theorizes that another Shredder might exist in this dimension. He and Krang discover Chirel, the Utrom Shredder, on an icy asteroid where he was banished, and beam him to the Technodrome. They revive him, but find him too insane for an alliance and try to vivisect him. However, Chirel's adopted daughter, Karai, who had been monitoring his exile, breaks into the Technodrome and frees him, declaring the weapons technology property of the Foot Clan. While attacking the Technodrome, the Turtles and their master Splinter are attacked by Hun and the Purple Dragons, who want their mutagen. During the fight, Hun is accidentally exposed to it and turns into a mutant turtle. He wanders until coming upon the Technodrome, now under the control of Chirel, who takes Hun back into his service. Chirel and Karai begin rebuilding the Technodrome with help from the Cyberfoot, using Utrom science to revise it. With the combined technology used to make Chirel's new Shredder body and create new Footbots. Analyzing the mutagen that affected Hun, they reverse engineer it to transform the Cyberfoot into mutant foot soldiers. Using the transdimensional portal, Chirel learns that there are many parallel universes filled with Ninja Turtles. Hun, Bebop, and Rocksteady are dispatched alongside an army of Utrom Footbots to capture the Turtles by breaking into their lair. The lair begins crumbling, forcing the Turtles to use their dimensional portal projector to escape into the 1987 dimension while Splinter is captured by Hun. While the Turtles are preparing for their fight, they discover that the Shredder has started attacking the 2003 dimension with the upgraded Technodrome and the mutant foot soldiers. Casey Jones and April tried to hold the enemy off before the Turtle teams arrive. After entering the Technodrome to find Splinter, they are captured by Chirel, who plans to wipe out every version of the Ninja Turtles across the multiverse by destroying them in their source dimension, Turtle Prime. By scanning the 8 Turtles' DNA, he finds the dimension, but before the Turtles are wiped out, they are suddenly warped out of the Technodrome, secretly by Karai, who has started to question Chirel's goals. The Turtles reunite with April and Casey, but realize that Chirel has started his plan and their dimension is slowly being erased. After a fight with the Dragons and Hun, which results in their, along with Casey and April's, erasure, the Turtles escape to Turtle Prime, where they encounter their Prime counterparts. The 12 Turtles team up and are joined by Splinter, Karai, 1987 Shredder, and Krang against Chirel. Karai attempts to convince Chirel that wiping out Turtle Prime would also result in their own erasure, but Chirel is too blinded by his hatred of the Turtles to care. During the battle, Chirel's exosuit grows giant and proves to be vulnerable to the Technodrome's laser beam. He seizes the Prime Turtles and attempts to destroy them and the entire multiverse, but the 1987 Turtles break his balance and save the Prime Turtles. Bebop unknowingly reactivates the Technodrome's laser beam, which vaporizes Chirel. With their foe defeated and their worlds restored, the two turtle teams and their allies return to their respective worlds, while the Prime Turtles decide to go get some pizza. In the real world, Peter and Kevin Eastman put the finishing touches on the first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Hopeful that the book will sell, they go out for pizza. The end.
Riveting stuff.
Yeah. It looked shorter on my screen.
It's fine. That was about the length of us doing 3 episodes. You're good.
Yeah.
Well, let's move to the second time around.
Hey, nice junk.
Second time around. Doing it again for the second time because it's the second time around. I looked this up in the Ultimate Visual History. It's like one of the last things in there. And there's an interesting bit in here. Lloyd Goldfine, who's been on the show for a long time, he's one of the producers. He says one of the biggest challenges of Turtles Forever was that a week or so before we finished post-production, which is music, sound effects, graphics, mix, and etc., we were all laid off. The studio closed. Despite this, the crew all stayed on to finish it. We wrapped the show the day before it premiered at the 2009 San Diego Comic-Con. Isn't that wild?
That
Yeah.
is incredibly wild.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that close. I was at that Comic-Con. I didn't get to see Turtles Forever though there. I did get to see like the whole 25th anniversary stuff that they were doing. But man, knowing it that con, like it was Turtles Forever was at that con. I really wish I would have been able to see it.
What a shame. I can't believe that you I can't believe that you waste living in California by all this stuff. By all this stuff that happens and you apparently just miss it. Unbelievable.
I know.
Yeah, Mike
I know.
doesn't deserve it.
I was at the Comic-Con. I just didn't go to the one thing that Spencer would have been interested in.
Unbelievable. Freaking believable.
Classic Mike.
That's me.
Is there a reason? Like, did you know it was there? Or
I don't think I knew it was there, to be honest. I mean, granted, this was also almost 20 years ago. But yeah, I might not have known that they were showing it there because, like, again, I wasn't that into the 2003 show at this point. So the 2007 movie had already come out. So, like, I was back into Turtles, like, kind of because of that. But then also, like, I never went up.
I am going to add to my list of things that I will do if I get a time machine to like stop you at Comic-Con and like push you into the room that has Turtles Forever.
Please do.
Yeah.
Make that the
And then
first.
you don't
thing
wait. You don't
Don't
know
kill
what kind of
Hitler.
butterfly
go
effect that
push
will
me into
have
the
on
room.
Mike's life. You know,
Yeah.
like
That's true.
I thought
What
about
if it-
the killing Hitler, which like absolutely you should do, but like you can't claim that you did it because no one's going to know who Hitler was. You know?
see, but then you also don't know. Maybe a worse Hitler arises, and you make things
True.
even
Yeah.
worse.
Well, then
Yeah,
I'll just
'cause,
go
like-
back in time again and
So you
kill
gotta-
that worse
you
Hitler.
gotta-
Hitler
You gotta let
Hitler being in
get a
power.
couple in. You gotta let Hitler get a couple in first, then you kill him.
Well, because really, like, so many people died during World War II. You know, all across the world. There's a good chance a lot of terrible, awful people died. You know, so who knows? Maybe you'd spawn like 40 new Hitlers, and it'd be even worse.
I don't know. I don't know what the story is. I haven't read it. I just heard someone else talking about it on a podcast once, which sounds very intellectual of me. But there's a short story out there.
He's just
where
judging you so hard right now.
basically,
when I tried to just say I watch TikTok videos, he raked me over the coals.
basically, there's like a time travel police that exists specifically to protect baby Hitler because they've already
Isn't
killed.
that what Time Cop is about?
It
Not
could be,
specifically
but
baby
they
Hitler, but like their time police.
yeah, something like that. But like they killed so time travelers have basically already killed like 3 Hitlers before Hitler, but it just keeps getting worse every time. Like the next Hitler is just worse than the one before it, and so they are protecting this baby Hitler because they know that like if someone kills this baby Hitler, there will just be another baby Hitler because like at the end of the day, Hitler was a product of the sentiment and everything else of the people at the time, rather than like he didn't do all that stuff himself. Basically, it's kind of the thing where like it kind of like there's like a theory basically out there that like all of these like big men or whatever you want to call them, like these dictator people that come into power, like if they didn't go into power, someone else would have filled that spot. But like no matter what, like because of the culture and the way people are and what's going on, like those people would be in their positions no matter what. Like if that person wasn't there, there'd be someone else doing what Hitler did in his spot, you know. Anyway,
What a very pro-Hitler stance that is.
Surprisingly,
I don't feel like it's very pro Hitler at all. You know, I feel like
the most
it's
pro-Hitler thing I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, you know, Hitler definitely deserved to. That's the most pro Hitler thing you ever heard. I mean, you should really run into a Hitler. There are Hitler apologists out there, man. They are freaky people for sure.
Take it easy, Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
I would say we've gotten off track, but this is just such par for the course for us that it's not off track at all.
So speaking of Hitler, there's an Easter egg in here of a Token Razar appearing.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that it's like it is just straight up Token Razar. I was looking to see if there were any other mutants in like that mutant army.
Not that I
What do Toka and Razar have to do with Hitler? Nothing. I was just changing the subject.
Yeah.
But they do appear in here. You know, they are some of the mutants that are used by Shredder. When the issue, like when the comic book turtles show up, they actually use lines from issue 1 of the comics while they're attacking the turtles.
That's really
Not only
cool.
that, like there's also like a ton of like very specific animation things. Like the 87 turtles do things that we had seen them do in like especially the first season, like covering Rocksteady in like that sand is very similar to like the cement when they're fighting in Shredder is splintered, and like little lines that the turtles say are like very of lines that they say specifically in that first season. It's really great how much they pull from like the Mirage comic and that first cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah, and like all the Mirage turtles, like they strike the pose, like the first cover pose and the jumping pose, but also like when Leo mentions the Shredder and they all back up, they hit the pose. It's like them up against the wall from the very first page of the comic. Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, them being like, Shredder, come out and face us, even though it's not like their Shredder. You know, they're doing it now with Terrell.
Do you fear us? That's the line, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, the Leo takes, or what is it, like Raph takes out one with his sai, or anyway, things like that. Like he talks about someone coming, it's like Donatello comes down with his staff or whatever.
Yeah, he takes
like
out
those lines are
staff.
Yeah, like those lines are like ripped right out of issue 1.
Yeah.
There's so many lines that do that. They also end it with the "we strike hard and faded to the night" or whatever kind of thing is there.
Yeah, the Shredder is shredded. That's from it too. It's really
good.
The 87 turtles. There's a lot of stuff. First off, they call their vehicle the party wagon. I noticed in this, not the turtle van.
It was weird because they never call it the party wagon in the 87 show.
Yeah, very strange. When they get to the 87 universe, there's a bunch of characters walking around that we've seen before. There's like the scientist that April interviews in the first episode, excuse me. Irma's walking around. The entire gang that Bebop and Rocksteady were a part of, including human Bebop and human Rocksteady somehow, are walking around for some reason.
But look, it's a human Rocksteady's walking with Scrag, and he's not walking with Bebop, who is going the other direction.
Right. Donatello, he brings they go to the 87 universe to get the anti-technodrome gear, and one of the things he gets is an exploding shuriken, which is something that he used on the technodrome in the episode Return of the Technodrome, which is the end of season 2. The one that really stood out to me is like off the cuff was Bebop using the scent analyzer from Lotus Blossom's episode. It's like the vacuum with a nose on the end. It's like, what of all the things to pull, that was the thing.
The nose.
Yeah. Fantastic.
We see the pretty accurate recreation of the 87 lair, like Donatello's lab, the kitchen, the living room, like they all feel like authentic.
Yeah, and even like the music it's not the same music, but they did a good job
Oh,
kind of
it's absolutely
replicating that
not.
feel. Yeah.
It's absolutely not the same music. And that's like, and this kind of goes into an anchovy, but like a lot of very specific things created for that show they couldn't use because like either licensing deals with Fred Wolf or like, the voice actors, like it's obviously not Rob, Barry, Cam Clark, and Townsend as the Turtles. Like it's because we've mentioned it before, but like this show wasn't a SAG after it wasn't a union show. And
Yeah.
so they get the original voice cast. So we have stand-ins for them. Who
Wouldn't it?
I do a good enough job.
It's kind of weird because it's like
Wouldn't
they're not trying to do 1-to-1. They're trying to go like 20%. Like there's like hints of it because there's no way they were trying 100% to recreate it. Like they definitely like steered away.
I also think
No,
they're
I
doing
think they did.
I think they're doing like season 1 voices of the Turtles,
Yeah.
like because as the show went on, like Raph got more snarky and Donatello got more nasally. Michelangelo's voice pitched up, and Cam Clark just went from like dead serious, very assertive to like incredibly cartoony. But I think these actors are trying to do like season 1, episode 1, like their very first lines is they're trying to get close to that and not what we kind of associate them with.
Which like
Yeah.
it doesn't work because I think it's Dan Green as Leonardo. Dan Green was like Knuckles in Sonic X.
That's where I
And
know that voice. Oh my,
yeah,
yeah, he does not fit.
he just does not fit
No,
Leonardo.
yeah.
But the other three I think do a really good job. Like especially like doing that first season version of the Turtle.
Yeah.
I do think it would be awesome if they could like redub this movie with the original voice cast. Like that would be with like the 87 ones if they could ever manage that. If there's I don't know, like I don't know if I don't know what toes might get stepped on or what might happen if they
Or
did
maybe
it.
they could
But
get them
if they
on
could make
board
it
for like a
happen.
different version of it and just like do it, you know?
Yeah.
That's what they did with 2012, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
I mean, they did 2012, but story wise, it wasn't as good. So, like, that's
Yeah,
kind of the
yeah.
problem. Like, it just didn't quite, it wasn't as good as this movie. But the voice
It's
acting,
just
of course,
shorter.
because they had the actual 87 ones. But it would be cool if they could get like the 87 ones to do the voices in this. Like, it would be cool.
Yeah. People complain about it a lot. I never found it that much of a sticking point for me, but
Yeah.
that's what it is.
I mean, it definitely wasn't for me because I had no idea what the 87 ones were
Oh,
supposed
yeah,
to
yeah.
sound like. So I was like,
Blank
yeah,
slate
this
over
works.
here, yeah.
As a kid.
Do we want to talk about the Turtle multiverse real quick?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Have you all identified every universe they go through? 'Cause
I have not, because a lot of the pictures are just like it was probably just like art they had laying around at Mirage Studios of different people having drawn the turtles, like for most of it.
Yeah,
Like
there's definitely a couple like pinups, and I know one for sure was made for this movie.
Mhm.
Also, like if you're looking at it, like Archie's on there like 4 times, Mirage is on there like 6. So
Yeah,
to call
it's
it
just like a different.
multiverse, kind of.
Yeah, it's just a different artist drawing them, and I mean, to be fair to them at the time, as far as like a multiverse goes, like what did they actually have? You have like the movies, you had, like they do have the anime turtles. They did make an appearance, the Superman turtles. They do have. I'm trying to remember what I remember seeing off the top of my head. They don't have Next Mutation.
Don't have Next Mutation. Don't have coming
Turtle-
out of their shells.
Turtlepedia makes a point to say that Next Mutation is the only version not represented, which we found is not true, as Keith just mentioned.
Yeah. Turtlepedia are hacks and frauds. As we, more and more.
I think it would. It's annoying that like Turtlepedia, how it overexplains a billion things, but no one in the almost 20 years that this has come out has listed every version that we can see. in the multiverse.
Right. Or even like taking an attempt at it. So here
Yeah.
I uploaded the pictures to our Discord chat. I'm gonna try and see if I can name all of them. There's 2 I know I can't. But if we start on the first picture, we'll start on the top left and kind of go across. So that's a cover from Tales Volume 2, the ones that they look like little kids. Right next to it, that was a game or something back at the time with the like Minecraft looking. I think they're called blockies or something. Anybody remember?
No. But keep going.
I don't know specifically, but
Yeah, I can say.
Okay, next to that one is one where we just see their bottom halves. They're wearing pants. I don't know what that one is. Any guesses?
it's the
You know,
SNL Old Man Turtles, actually.
Going on from that, the next one, it looks like they're in a desert. That's one of the covers that AC Farley did. I think it's volume 3 of the collected books. Next to that is a part of the cover from In the Shadows. Next to that, kind of cut off, is the river, but it's like superimposed over them jumping over a skyline.
Oh, dude, do you know what those box ones are? Sorry, like I finally
Yeah.
actually see them now on the top. So for kids on their website, they used to have just paper box thing like crafts you could cut out that made little
paper
box
craft.
dudes like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And you could
sweet.
print them out. I did it. I actually printed out some and made some. I was like, I can't remember who I made, but I remember actually printing out some and cutting them and gluing them together and making those. So that's what those are.
That's amazing. That's really cool. The next row then starts off with the Archie wrestling turtles. And then next to that, kind of like the lower one, I think that's Gene Colan's art. He did an issue of the Archie series. He's the guy that like drew it to look exactly like the action figures. Above that looks like Ken Mishrone's art. I think that was done for this show. Kind of below that, there is the anime Super Mutant Turtles, and then overlapping that one, I don't know what that one is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
one's
kind of
hard
hard
because
to
that
see
one
it.
there's not a lot of detail on that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That one's also then overlapping one that's the turtles on camels, and that's from Mark Bodie's the Egyptian Adventure one. Next to that is the cover of an Archie comic by Ken Microni. And then the comic had like Krang's tentacles coming at them. It looks like they hacked that out of that. Next to that is a painting by Eastman and Laird that was used for an iron-on of the like original turtles.
I like the
next
green
row then.
that one.
Sorry.
It's got like a green plastron on Leonardo.
Yeah, they had green plastrons the first time they did them in color, which is kind of cool. The next line there is, I believe that's the guy that did Twilight of the Ring.
Yeah,
his
down at the
name-
bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, Rick McCullum, I believe, and Bill Anderson. I think that's a print they did. Next to that is a Michael Dooney, and next to that is one of the Savage Dragon crossovers from Image, with Savage Dragon taken out of it. Next to that, that's Rick Remender. That's one of the Shark Shredder comic covers. I think it's Tales Volume 2, number 3. And then next to that is another Tales cover by Chris Allen. Is the last one on that page. The next like one we see has the 4 toddler turtles from TMNT Adventures, and then Souls Winter and Jim Lawson. The next one has the Super Turtles from Volume 4, that cover, the movie Turtles, and then Eric Talbot Turtles. I think he did that for this show too. The next one has Dan Berger up in the top left. I don't know what that's from. The one under that is the cover to the first issue of Volume 4. Beside that, them writing the Sea Turtle. That's from the Archie Adventure Comics. The one above that was made by Emilio Lopez and another storyboard artist. Let me see if I can find his name real quick. Emilio Lopez and Edwin T. Nebres. And it was made for this show. That's an original universe they made for this. Next slide has Stan Sakai and Same as It Never Was, which is interesting because Donatello in that panel is the Donatello that is also looking at this, which is kind of weird. And then the final panel then has the other episode of the anime where they get the like dragon armor and stuff. Dreamwave is overlapping that. Next to that is Mark Martin's Turtles from the time travel adventure, the beginning of the guest era. And above that is a 2007 Ninja Turtle movie.
Did it not show like the volume 3 turtles anywhere in this?
They do. That very first one, the bottom center, that Savage Dragon crossover, that's part of Volume 3, but they didn't do the
Oh, that's
like
true.
the
But like,
cyborg or
yeah, I want to see
sword hand or
Cyborg
anything.
Donatello and yeah,
Yeah,
and
it would have been cool if
s-
they could have got like
Raphael with the mask.
yeah, Raph with the shredder armor or something. That would have been really cool.
Yeah. You could make the argument that a lot of the guest era issues are their own universe, basically. I mean, for sure, Michael Zuli's is, uh, the what is it? Something Soul's Winter, like that for
Mhm.
sure is its own universe.
Yeah.
But there's some of these where it's just like, you just had another artist, draw their version of the turtles, which is cool, but like hardly a multiverse.
Right. Yeah. I mean that first scene with all the different pictures, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5, 6, possibly 7, 8, 9, that 10 that could all be Mirage on that first one. So
Yeah. But I feel, I don't know, it's one of those things where again, like they could have included like that volume 3 look with the cyborg and stuff in there. Like that would have been cool. I feel
yeah.
like there's a few things that they maybe could have done. I'm glad they included the Super Turtles. I do love the Super Turtles, but
Yeah. This was the first time I
I
saw
don't
them.
know.
I do remember that.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know of them before that. It does feel like it's like stuff that Peter didn't make it in. Like the coming out of the shells,
Yeah.
the next mutation, the image stuff.
It is funny how like they were really trying to sell the idea of this multiverse, and like the majority of them are just covers by different artists,
Right.
even if it's the same universe.
Yeah. It's fun though. It's a cool idea.
It is a fun idea, and it is like one big multiverses for an IP.
Mhm.
Man, I love
I
it.
mean, that's kind of the other big thing for this movie, right? Is that like this is way before its time as far as like multiverse stuff goes. Like we had multiverse stuff in comic books, but like actual TV shows and like having like a crossover with like other versions of itself.
Right.
Like I genuinely don't think that like this had happened like on I don't know, like in a TV show or a movie before this. Like this is before Into the Spider-Verse, years before Into the Spider-Verse, and other movies like it. So it is kind of crazy that this came out when it did and exists as early as it did.
Yeah.
What you need to do now is post on Twitter that TMNT invented the multiverse concept, and just let that tweet
Well,
ride.
it didn't, but
Yeah.
Oh, you just tweet it?
But
Look, that's how we figure out if someone else did it or not. You just got to make the claim, and then people chime in.
I would say it's probably
That's
one of the
how-
first movies to do it. I'll make that argument 100%. I guess there's that episode of
Make that
Justice
video,
League.
make that tweet. I want to see the fallout.
Like there's like that episode of Justice League where there's like the dictator versions of the Justice League where like the Flash died, and so in some alternate universe, and so they've become like they've put themselves in charge of the world, and yeah. It's like there is stuff like that exists, but it wasn't like
Didn't the X-Men cartoon do it?
That was a future. But these are all of these examples are one alternate universe. This is like a multitude, a multiverse of verses.
Yeah, like three
I
of
mean,
them all coming
technically,
together.
once you establish one alternate universe,
It's
the
already a
rest
multi.
follows.
Yeah,
Fair
but
enough.
it wasn't like with that Justice League episode, for example. It wasn't like, oh, we are the animated universe Justice League and we are crossing over with the comic book Justice League, or like we're crossing over with the Super Friends, right? It wasn't like this previously existing like incarnation of the franchise, like it.
Well, it's also difficult because it relies something like that relies on having a franchise that has been prolific enough.
Mhm.
And so even if people have the idea, there's not a lot of franchises necessarily that have tons of different iterations in that way.
Yeah. So it's just cool that this did it when it did it, that it exists. Because like way before Marvel was like digging into their multiverse stuff, this was happening, And I don't know. I find that really cool. Because I feel like in a lot of ways it was ahead of its time, and like it makes it even now still feel fresh, even though like I've become like kind of cynical of a lot of different multiverse concepts, and when they kind of journey into them, like you really have to make it interesting, you know. This still feels fresh and really cool to me. Watching it, really interesting and fun more than anything.
Yeah. And Tails was doing something similar at the same time too. They're having a crossover with Moo Mesa, and they discovered a multiverse of turtles there. So it's kind of cool how the comics mirror the animation in that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, because we also know that like Peter Laird was coming up with the concept to have like Kirby facilitate a crossover between um, the Mirage Turtles and the Archie Turtles.
Yeah.
Like at some point they were kind of developing that, and it just never happened. This movie's kind of almost like the next version of that.
Yeah, when I read the visual history, it said that Peter was kind of against it for a while, but it seemed like what tipped him over was them including the Mirage Turtles. He thought that was a cool idea, and that's
And
why
it
it got
and it
made.
really is like, because and it's funny because like when you compare this to how the 2012 series does this with transdimensional turtle, like this was so much better, and it's like you can see why 2012 went the direction it did, because it's like you can't really top this.
Yeah, I know. This one's so much better in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I feel like the 87 Turtles are done dirtier in that one than this one. But we'll get to that in several years.
Yeah.
The
Well,
last little bit I have is that at the end, that really is Peter and Kevin talking. I don't
Yeah.
think they're acting, but that is their voices over the scene.
That was actually back then. Peter Laird recorded all his conversations, so that's an actual audio tape. He liked to spy on people, and it was
Right,
just
right.
he has a huge archive of it. You never know when you're gonna need it.
Are we good to into anchovies?
No anchovies. You put anchovies on this thing and you're in big trouble, okay?
I mean, do we even really have any?
Yeah, I do think that it would have been better
I
if they
do.
used the original voice actors. That's just
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah, I think the voice acting is terrible, and part of it is like when you 100% know what something should sound like,
Mhm.
and it doesn't. So it's almost a problem you can't fix unless you deliberately, because you can, like, I really don't think they tried to do exact recreations. Like all the characters, some are closer than others or more of the character, but I really don't think they were trying to do one to one. They were trying to get like, maybe I'll do half so you can hear like notes of it, but we don't want to like, because I would assume they had some respect for the original actors and they didn't want to do like a one to one imitation. But like someone like Leo is the most off. Like so, I do find it like very jarring. It doesn't like ruin the movie for me, but it's definitely like a low point of it. The voice acting.
Leo's is definitely like off kilter. I mean, and I'm sure part of it is like you work with the talent that you got, not the talent that you want to have. But like Leo's voice, and now that you said it, he's Knuckles from Sonic X. That's all I can hear because it's exactly the voice he's doing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
it
I
is.
think his
it is
Knuckles voice is a little deeper, but anyway. A
like,
little deeper and grumpier.
and it is the bummer because like Leo, he doesn't do the most talking of the 87 turtles, but it's like every time he does open his mouth, it is incredibly jarring.
Yeah.
I don't think the others are that bad though. Like I think the others are perfectly passable. I do think like Bebop and Rocksteady don't get enough to say. But when they do, like, I don't think, yeah. I can't really find anything else bad to say about this. Like, I
Yeah, me too.
genuinely enjoy this. Like, I was very excited for us to finish 2003 so we could talk about Turtles forever. at length. Like this, like, because everything about this was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
watching it.
I do kind of feel like they flanderized the 87 Turtles a little bit, and it's for the plot and to kind of like make sure that contrast is there between the 87 and the 2003 Turtles so they can kind of have that like collision with each other. So I do feel like they like make them a little extra jokey, like a little extra like I don't know, throwing in jokes like a little bit one too often. Like I feel like the 87 series wasn't as heavy-handed as like they could be in some scenes in this movie. But again, like I feel like that was there to kind of be like these guys are different from each other, you know.
Yeah,
And
there's a couple that really get me. One is the like they crash the glider, and then two of them give Michelangelo a noogie for like
Yeah.
no reason
Mhm.
whatsoever. There's that, and there's when the 2003 Raph saves two or three of them, and they start like crying and need to be consoled by him. I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck
I
was that
mean,
about?
to be fair, they have never actually fought a competent villain before. All right, so we don't know how they would
That's
act
true. True.
True.
if their
The
lives
last
were
thing,
genuinely threatened.
the last
You
thing
are,
about them that is like a now that I've seen all the 87 series is much more an anchovy for me is that and they make the same joke in the 2012 one that like the 87 turtles will just walk out in the open and talk to humans, and that was not at all the case in that show. They were
yeah,
always wearing some kind of costume. Now granted, there's a caveat to that. They were always wearing a costume, and then when someone like dropped something or they needed to help out in some Monday, they'd immediately lose their costumes, but they were masters of disguise and like always wearing something. They didn't just walk out in the open like that.
Yeah.
It-
My anchovy, I have two in regards to this. One is like the fans who seemingly like genuinely get upset that they did any version of the Turtles dirty, because it's like
Mhm.
it's not that serious. Like you don't need to be like offended
It's
on
they're
their
also like
behalf.
these are the turtles that tripped over parking meter change at one point. Like it's hard to do them too dirty, you know?
well,
Yeah,
and
because they're
it's
definitely
also
more wacky and cartoony, but they are wacky cartoony turtles. So if you're gonna play
they
it
are.
up, like
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
you're gonna do.
Not only that, but like the 87 show actively made jokes about itself and like made
Mhm.
fun of itself. So it's kind of like I feel like poking fun out of it in any way, in any
Yeah.
version is kind of fair
It's a,
game.
it's a little over the top, but it's not like they're not like smelling
Yeah.
each other's farts or something stupid. Like it's very
Yeah.
much in character for most of it. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like maybe a little too flandery. But the true
yeah.
flanderization that actually does annoy me is the flanderization of the Mirage Turtles. And I feel like this movie in particular carries a lot of water for people to retroactively think the Mirage Turtles were this dark and gritty, or even this much like a-holes when they really weren't. But I feel like people watch this movie and they're like, yeah, the Mirage Turtles were lunatics. And it's like, no, like the Mirage Turtles were a lot closer to like other versions than this version would like depict them as, and that
Mhm.
highly
I
annoys me.
I
Yeah.
do think that firstly they're pulling a lot from issue 1, but
Well,
also
like
I
they're doing
think
like a
that
parody of the parody, which like I
Mhm.
get that, but it annoys me that other people take that. They're like, yeah, the Mirage Turtles were dark and adult and gritty, because it's like they don't get the joke that this is making about itself essentially,
Mhm.
and that deeply offends me.
That's fair. That makes a lot of sense that people would think that, yeah.
Because otherwise it is a fun like thing to do, because it's like making the turtles their most noir,
Mhm.
like it's a
Yeah, like they're narrating to themselves and they make like a joke about how like are they narrating themselves out loud?
Yeah.
Like
yeah
well these turtles are very over the top and do take themselves seriously in the Mirage universe, like at the same time it's kind of showing that like but also it's not that serious, guys. These guys have these like hard-boiled personalities at a lot of different points, but it's not like it took itself incredibly
yeah.
seriously
I
either.
just need people to realize that it's a joke. Like this
Yeah.
version of them is a joke about them.
Much like the 87 ones were. Yeah.
Yeah.
My anchovy around the 87 ones, but just kind of the climax of the movie is like so Terrell's been fighting all these turtles, and the way that they like learn to beat him is the Mirage turtles just kind of jump on his visor and like growl at him, and he gets like scared and backs up. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Well, it's because they're the Mirage Turtles, dude. They're the originals. They're the
But
OGs. You know.
he's seen and talked to them and has been fighting them this whole time, and now suddenly he's scared of them.
But now
It's
they're in his face. Now they're in his face.
It is pretty
well,
dumb.
and he shouldn't be in the face either. He should be in the abdomen, right?
Well, not for this version of the suit, obviously. He wasn't in the
Actually,
same as it never was suit.
That's a good point. And same as it never was. That was true. When he first learned about the multiverse too, he was holding his head, so it's possible he is in the helmet of it. Okay, good call, Spencer.
There
Still,
we go. I fixed it. I saved it.
I maintain that the idea that they growled at him and he backed up in terror is like I don't know what else they could have done, but I feel like that was not a good piece of writing there.
Fair enough. You know, I'll kind of give it to you, but also it's fun, and it's kind of funny, and it's kind of just like the Mirage Turtles, man. They're the coolest
They're so
kind of
badass.
moment. Yeah, that
Dark
they
and
scare
gritty.
him. Yeah, that it's fun. You know.
My other anchovy is a math one. At one point, Shredder is talking about, like, he discovers all the, multiverse of turtles. And he's like, there's scores of turtles, which a score isn't a lot. A score is 20, So if you're like 4 score, that's 80 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe they didn't want there to be like infinite numbers of turtles, but saying there's scores of turtles I'm going to kill, that's like, even if you say like 20 score, like you're only getting into like hundreds, maybe thousands, instead of like an infinite amount of turtles. And so knowing that really lowered the stakes for me, because it's like, it's not that many.
It's only at least 40 universes. It could be much more.
Like in theory, if you carry out the multiverse thing, there's infinite copies of you. It's like, do you ever sit and think, like, if that's true, which, like, on the scale of like 1 to like 1 being good, 10 being, or 1 being bad, 10 being good, like where you fall on the universe of like Keith's or Spencer's, because some days you're like, man, I must be the shittiest Cody. Like, there's got to be billionaire Codys out there really living it up.
I know 2 other Codys, and I gotta tell you, Cody, not measuring up.
How do they spell?
That includes a Cody. That's one Cody with a C and one with a K. So both
Hey
spellings.
Cody's, look. Any Cody that's not CODY, I'm going full Shredder and taking them out of the timeline. They're not valid Codys. If you don't spell Cody,
how do you feel about CODI?
if you're a girl,
that's okay.
Like, look, girl Codys, you have more leeway, because then it's cool. Yeah. But I've known like dude Codys that spell it with like CHODE, and it's like, no, you're getting cold. You're getting cold. Like, you're out. Like,
what
your timeline?
What is Cody short for?
Cody? Codonicus.
Codonicus. Okay.
Codilium. I don't know.
Oh.
Codsworth,
I thought it was Codiferer,
maybe?
But yeah. Codicius.
Codicius. That's a strong contender. There's an alternate Codicius out there.
He's getting off. Yeah. I guess so. We know that the 3 others of us liked this movie. Cody, what are your thoughts on it? Is now a good time to do that while Mike is out?
I mean, I'm fine with that. I like the movie. Like, it's as good as the 2003 series gets. I don't revere it as much as everyone thinks. It's like, because people are like, this is one of the best Turtles movies. Like, it's nowhere near like the top for me. I don't think it's like so stellar a concept that it's like so much better than like a 2012 version of the story. Like, they definitely do more stuff and like have more fun with it. So like, I don't think it's like the greatest Turtles ever since Sliced Turtles, but it's definitely as much fun as I've ever had with the 2003 series. And it does what I say a lot, like, it fits more into their natural wheelhouse, where it like embraces the turtliness of it much more, where sometimes it feels like they're almost embarrassed of the turtliness. So when you work in these like extra like goofy turtle elements, like, I think it works better. even for like the
Okay.
2003 cast and those characters.
Did we go to I Love or is Cody?
No, we
just
just
finding
we
his-
were done with anchovies, and we thought I thought I'd give
Uh,
Cody room to talk about his opinions. And just to clarify, your favorite movie is the third movie, Cody?
I actually really do like the third movie. Like I don't know if it's like the best movie, but I enjoy it a ton. But also I would also say like most of the turtle movies like don't actually rank highly in terms of like actual good movies, so it's kind of like splitting hairs on like
I'm
a
just
weird
talking turtle
question.
movies. We're just talking turtle movies.
I mean, probably like if we're being like legit, the first turtle movies probably worked the best because that's like a weird freak of a movie, like way too like it's way better than it ever had any right to be, you know.
Mhm.
But I would put 3 above a lot of other ones for sure.
Okay, just want to make sure our audience knows that. I'm just giving you a shit, Cody. Are we ready to talk about what
Oh,
we loved
I
about
feel
this?
no shame. People try to shame you for liking the third movie, and it's like, why are you booing me? I'm right. Like,
Cody is unshameable. I've tried so many different angles, and none of them have worked. He's just a man without shame, without embarrassment whatsoever.
yeah.
I'm envious. All right. So, are we ready to talk about what we loved about this?
Oh, I love being a turtle.
There
like-
are
I liked everything about this. It was so good. I had
Yeah,
so much
there-
fun watching it.
there are so many lines and stuff in this that are genuinely funny. You know, like you have Splinter at the beginning watching that soap opera, and it's just like, I'm not your half brother. I'm actually your stepsister. You know, and Splinter's like, oh, you know, does his little gasp.
Yeah.
The cutaways they have of like Raphael, you know, talking. You know, you have Hun being like, you know, it turned me into the last thing I touched, mutant turtle filth, and like 87 Raph turns, and it's not true. We shower regularly.
Yeah.
You know, like
fourth wall breaks. Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah.
fourth wall breaks, and especially like then when Hun like freaks out about it, and it's just like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, like, 'cause it's the third time he's done it at that point, and
Yeah.
it's just it's such a good bit. Um, God, just going back to what Cody says, like, I don't think this is the best Turtles movie. I do think this is the best that the 2003 show gets because it is exactly like in their wheelhouse. It is like fun. The stakes are big. Like this feels like earned for the most part. Like everything in this feels like it earned like the right to be here in this and it's just so enjoyable. Like everybody is like on their A game. You don't have to worry about like Serling is not here. Like
Damn, Serling still catching strays.
yeah.
Yeah.
If they weren't cowards, we would have got alternate reality Serlings, and it would have been fun. But, yeah. Like we would have learned that he was like in other forms. He is Fugitoid or something cool.
Right.
Justice for Serling.
I really like that they make the 87 turtles like actual competent fighters, and they're fighting the way that they did in their series, which is like using their environment, like Raph with the stalactites and Donatello rolling a boulder over all of them. And
Well, and
especially
even like
that.
the first run of the 87 turtles, like they were very competent. Like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
you
yeah.
know?
I like that Leo stabs one of the foot soldier robots and he explodes, and then he's like, "Oh, it's a robot." Like no one told him it was a robot. He was just immediately like, "I'm gonna stab this thing."
Yeah. But then I love as soon as they figure out that they're all robots, Raph like has the most fun
I
like,
know.
running through and like just slaughtering all of the robots.
Because up until then, everything, and really like after that, even everything's stupid to Raph. But man, like exploding robots are his jam.
Yeah.
Well, they
You
even
know
have
what
that
sure
whole
would be smart to do? Throw in humans and let the turtles kill them, so the turtles like, oh my god, what?
Oh my god, what did I
Like,
do?
Well, that's the thing is like some of the upgraded foot are humans.
Yeah, after
Like so they
crying, then get
could
to
be
it.
killing them at some point because there's robots and the human mutants.
We didn't talk about this, but there's like an edited version and a not edited version. I think the edited version leaves out the fact that like Karai was keeping tabs on Terrell, and that's how she knew that Terrell was in the Technodrome, right?
Hmm. See, why would they edit that out? That's so weird to me that they would
That's
like.
yeah. That's like one. I think the rest of the edits. I found a list somewhere of all the edits that they did at one point, and it was like nothing of substance except for that little plot point. But
Huh. Yeah, there's
yeah.
that, but there's that whole scene like speaking of Raph just being like a nut job. Where, like the '87 Turtles are like, "What a hard case," talking about him, and Michelangelo's just like, "Bro, I could tell you stories."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just so many like hilarious, just funny moments, funny lines that like contrast these series with one another that are just fun. It
Yeah,
makes you laugh.
I love Mikey like originally loving the turtle, like the 87 turtles, and then like slowly starts cracking at how annoying they are.
Yeah.
Like just and they do get flanderized a lot, but it's like they never I other than like the noogie joke that like kind of keeps
Mhm.
happening, I never really feel like they're too flanderized because like I do see where there is like a weird tonal like whiplash with them because we were talking about how like they really do try to like represent the 87 like first season of the Turtles.
Mhm.
Um but then they do stuff that like the later season Turtles would do.
Yeah. These are like mid-season 3 turtles. Definitely.
Exactly. Exactly. And so it's like this weird mishmash of like both of those seasons but like in one movie.
Yeah. I think
So
too, it gets worse as it goes on because they start off very competent fighters, and then
yeah.
they start making noogie jokes, and they're throwing garbage cans, which they kind of did, but they like really lean into the garbage can bit too. So yeah,
But it is kind of funny when Raw Shredder shows up and then like all 8 of like the '87 and 2003 Turtles just chuck a bunch of trash cans at him
yeah,
and he falls off the roof.
yeah,
Uh, and in general, like there is something again, like even though like I've become pretty cynical about the multiverse crossover stuff and like I'm kind of tired of it, there is something
The
magical.
world has made you jaded, and
Oh, kind
yeah,
of like because we've seen it a lot now at this point, right? So there's a part of me like even when they like were bringing up the Battle Nexus and some of the comic book stuff, where I'm kind of just like, I don't know, like how interesting can you make it? Like
yeah. A little
we've
burnt out
seen
on
it
it.
before,
it
yeah.
it really depends. It depends on how much jangling keys it is. You can
Hmm.
like, there's still plenty of room for like alternate things and whatnot. Like it's always a fun idea. What if there's like a different version of you? But it really depends like how they handle it exactly.
Yeah,
I think it
like
works well here because all 3 versions they picked are so different from one another.
yeah.
That it's not just like the same character interacting with himself 3 times over.
Yeah, but there is something just like magical about seeing like all 12 turtles fight together. Like
Yeah,
there's something genuinely in it that still like stirs something in me, even though like I like even now, like I hear someone mention like a crossover, like, or we'll have like the '87 turtles meet the IDW turtle, whatever it may be. Like I kind of hear that and I kind of lose interest. Like I'm just not that interested in it anymore. But like with this movie, like it's still, I don't know, like it's still really fun for me. Like it just seeing them all together, there's something so cool about it. And maybe it's just because it was like the first time it was done, you know.
I mean, nostalgia is a huge factor if you're being
Mhm.
honest, sure.
yeah,
Though I
Yeah,
do
like there's,
think
there's probably nostalgia in there.
this is handled in the least jangling of keys kind of ways, because it's like an actual some like it's a ridiculous plot, but at least it's some kind of like plot, and it's not purely like, how in Iron Man 3 where there's the point where he's just getting like a new suit every 3 seconds, like because he has his like army of suits and he's like, I need a new one. But it also, you realize like, wow, all these suits are pretty rickety and shitty, and it kind of like cheapens the concept. I think
Hmm.
that's where a lot of like multiverse stuff kind of goes lately, where it's done for like purely like cynical,
yeah. Just for
weird
alternate
reasons.
covers.
Yeah.
Yeah, this multiverse is awesome, even if it doesn't make any sense that Archie's on there like 4 times and most of them are Mirage. But
Well, I mean,
This
technically,
multiverse-
again, like a multiverse that would happen. There'd be
Mhm.
like a billion versions of you. There are only like one hair is in a different direction, and otherwise it's
Yeah.
exactly the same.
yeah,
So technically, they did it right.
I like if we're still on the 87 Turtles, the guy who's doing Shredder, I didn't look up the voice actor, but the way he says turtles is perfect. With that, like long turtles. Yeah, it's just how James Avery would say it. And my favorite bit is when he's trying to start the Technodrome and it sounds like a Chevy that won't roll over. It's like
Yeah.
no 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 no. It's like what a weird bit. I love it.
So okay, so his name, the guy who plays Shredder, is Lode Williams. Ooh, that
Wow.
is the first time.
Baby load.
Baby
That is
load.
the
Sweet baby load.
That was the first time I've seen that name this
Oh,
entire.
he's such a sweet little loaf.
Man. Also, I mean, also the Krang is really fun too, and it's funny because like it obviously wasn't established here, but like Krang being interested in the Utrom technology, knowing now that they retconned him to be like a genetic offshoot of the Utroms, like from 2012, like, and then how the Technodrome technology merges very well with Utrom technology from 2003, like. What a good like kind of through line of like, because it wasn't the intention at the time that like Krang here is very interested in the Utrom technology, but they mentioned that like the Technodrome and Utrom technology like merged well together when like Terrell and Karai were upgrading the Technodrome, and then like later on we find out that like this Krang is an Utrom.
I like that the Terrell Shredder just like grows, and I'm sure if you didn't have the context for it, I was immediately like, "Oh shit, he's got the Krang molecular amplification chip," and he even does his hands the same way. It's so
Yeah.
cool. I love that they don't explain it. They're just like, "Yeah, you'll know, or you won't know. It'll still be cool. Who cares?"
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna like add that is cool is like, well, while this thing may mention that the 87 universe is cartoonish and whatever else, like the 87 universe does, and in like its aspects do come into play in this in ways that like are cool or like make things powerful, like the molecular amplification device, you know, that Shredder has in his suit of armor now. Like you get to see that stuff shine through. You know, Donatello being able to make a trans-dimensional portal out of a flashlight, you know, and using a wrench to as a hammer, you know, all these different kinds of things
And
where
the other Donatello does it in a moment of desperation. He's like, "Yeah, I guess it is art." Yeah,
yeah.
great.
Like it does have moments where like the 87 turtles are right, and it does have moments where you know like you guys have said before, they are competent in the fight, even though they fight without like directly attacking a bunch of things a lot of times, and they you know like drop boulders and they do all those different hallmarks of the 87 cartoon. Like they operate well, you know, in this universe, and their technology and stuff and bits and pieces of it do come into play and do make the Shredder more powerful by merging their technology with the foot technology.
Yeah,
Uh,
I like
it's
that they
really
use
cool.
the ooze too. They mutate that guy into a dog first, but then the big one's Hun turning into what is basically Slash in this universe. I don't understand how he's wearing half of a shirt. But I do like that he has a belt with a purple dragon symbol on it, and that symbol is an S, so it kind of looks like Slash. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
guessing that the half a shirt is just fused to his shell. You know, he just can't take it off.
He could
Yeah.
also have
It's
like
just-
a bargain bin Wolverine shirt, and it's just not regenerating fully yet.
There we
It's just
go.
slow.
There we go. That's a call
That's
forward,
fall
everyone.
forward.
It regenerates as an extra large, but not an extra large. You know,
It just
Yeah.
keeps ripping because it's not. Yeah, it's not
Half
enough. The
shredded off.
fibers can't contain it.
That's just
It's
it was such a weird design choice. Like, could he not just be a shirtless turtle? I don't know. It's odd, but
There's standards, Keith.
Right.
There's standards. This
right.
is a children's show. Pervert.
One of my favorite bits too is like Bebop and Rocksteady. They trip on the power cord of the laser.
yeah.
Like that's perfect. And then they plug it back in and like they'll be real proud of us. And it's like it's killing the Shrill.
Yeah.
It's such a good bit.
But also the fact that like it's hooked up to just like an outlet, you know, like
Yeah.
you can just plug in, you know,
I
the
mean,
giant
it doesn't even
laser.
have the grounding prong to it, does it? It's just like the 2-prong.
Yeah, it doesn't even have a third prong for grounding. Yeah. My guess is that has to be a control circuit. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So, you know, the solenoid just got pulled out, right? That doesn't require a whole lot of power to move a solenoid, you know, for a control circuit.
I love this. I had so much fun watching it. There were parts where I was like, I wish I didn't have to pause this to take notes for this show. So I watched it twice. I watched it once while taking notes and one just to watch it through. Exactly as enjoyable.
Did you
each
watch
time.
it back to back, or you spaced it out?
I spaced it out. So I did half a notes one night, half a notes another night, and then I watched it during work today.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a good use of work time.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I approve wholeheartedly.
Yeah. I also only poop on the clock. So
Boss
Work from
makes
home is
$1.
great for that, but like
I make a dime.
I hate public
That's why I poop on
toilets so
company time.
much that
Mhm.
pooping on the clock is still horrific for me if I'm out in the It's a real
Yeah.
shame.
I hate public toilets too. I have to have my stall. If it's not available, I won't poop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
It seems like-
compromise was always drinking a ton of water, so I'd make up for it in pee breaks. And then
There you go.
remember the cult of hydration that existed even like into like 2019, because if people saw you with a water cooler, they weren't thinking like, "Oh, you're milking it, so you got to pee a lot." They were like, "Damn, Cody's getting that water. I should get that water." And they just thought you were some kind of hero.
Right. It's Hydro Homies now. There's a subreddit, Hydro Homies.
But yeah, otherwise I do support pooping on the clock. It's just it
Yeah.
could never be me.
And Spencer started the rhyme. It's I make $1. Boss makes $1 while I make a dime, and that's why I poop on company time. We should stop talking about poop and start talking about Ninja Turtles again. Anything else that we loved that we need to mention?
I still firmly, genuinely think that this is my favorite thing from 2003. Is it one of my like favorite top 10 Turtles things ever? It's definitely probably in the top 5. Like it's so damn enjoyable.
Yeah, I think
What's
the
your
other thing
number
to
one for context?
I'd have to redo the list. Like the 1990 movie will still always be like there's too much nostalgia tied into it.
Oh yeah.
For me to get rid of it, to not have that be number one.
Fair.
I also do love just like the end part where they have Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman finishing up that first Turtles comic. Like it is just kind of a golden way because there's sort of like this meta theme, right? Of like whether they're the same or not, or like whether it's changing in every version or not. Like none of this would all exist without that original comic book existing, you know, and it's just kind of having that moment where you have like where you pull it back to Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird.
Kevin and Eastman.
Kevin and Eastman. No,
The
without
hell
having
with that
Kevin
Laird guy. It was Kevin and
without
Eastman.
having Eastman and Laird, you know, but pulling it all back to that moment of Eastman and Laird creating the Turtles is, I don't know, like it is just like just a great tribute, I guess, you know, to them and to kind of be like none of this would exist if these guys hadn't created this concept in this comic and done it. You know, they kind of started the phenomenon.
Yeah. I'm very happy. Like, so I haven't watched this. I mentioned this at the top. I haven't really sat and watched this since it came out. And I was worried that would not hold up compared to what I had in my mind. Because I'm like, I know I enjoyed it so much. I haven't like truly sat and watched it. And I was not disappointed. And it does feel like such a fitting end to like 25 years of the same franchise. And now they're handing it off to someone else. It's a very good goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Like, TMNT.
So yeah, I mean, I might start throwing this on again more often because it's been a long time since I've watched it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I still really enjoy this movie. Like,
it was a fun rewatch. Like, I haven't watched it in probably about 10 years, and I'm really glad we got here now.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's shut the door on this non-news part of the episode. But we'll keep a little tape on the latch in case we need to come back. Let's do
Yeah.
our news,
I'm
guys.
gonna come back and peel the tape off, and you guys are never getting in.
Bastard. Why did we let you on this podcast? There's a door we should have shut.
Because y'all are sickos. Y'all are. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? You're the one who invites
True.
me over.
True. Cody, I love you.
If I'm the Casey Jones, you're the one accepting me into your life.
Well, I was surprised that 87 Casey Jones didn't make an appearance. But it is
Yeah,
what it is.
even
not-
as the
Or
crowd-
April. I think it's
No,
because
she
they
did.
really wanted to hit the movie. They were like, no, these movie designs, the cross promotion, like,
Right.
we can't pollute it.
Still there.
Yeah.
I think that the reason why 87 Casey didn't show up is just because he only showed up in like 2 episodes of all of 87.
He was in 4, thank you.
Oh, it was 4?
It would have been
Five?
cool
Just four.
actually if like he met the Mirage Turtles and they were like, wow, you're also a fellow total a-hole, and they like really got
Yeah.
along. That would be fun.
4 out of 300 episodes. He was
193.
in.
Come on.
Oh, sorry, 193. It's 200 episodes that they.
I can't remember how much I
bad.
owe my bookie, but I know these numbers off the top of my head.
All right, let's hit the news.
This is April O'Neil of Channel 6.
I see nothing for toys, which I can't believe is possible, Cody.
Yeah, unless I'm forgetting something, there might have been like some weirdo things, but we're like gearing into Comic-Con, so not a lot of companies are dropping stuff. Though, I'm just confirming this with Mike live. He's actually going to go to Comic-Con for me and pick up all the Dungeon Crawler Carl stuff from Playmates for me, and he agreed to do that, and that's really great. Thank you, Mike.
I'll be at Comic-Con all 4 days. And most of that will be spent in line just for Cody at the Playmates
Mhm.
booth.
He's a true good friend.
Awesome. All right. What we got for comics then, Spencer?
Comics issue 19 of the mainline Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic is going to be out this Wednesday at your comic book shop. So be sure to keep up with that because we kind of talk about it a little bit in our bonus content, in our Shooting the Shell segment, our post show.
Which issue is
So-
the one where the artist changeover happens?
20.
The after 20?
Yeah.
Or on 20?
I'm sure they'll
20
finish
is
up this
also-
arc.
20 is also 300, right?
Yes, 20 is 300, I believe.
That's not confusing.
I think I ordered one of the Frank Miller covers. If I did it right. Because that one's cool.
Where they're all stacked up.
The other thing that was
Yeah.
announced is a one shot in September. Looks like it's kind of going to be related to Halloween, called TMNT The Hunger. Announced. It was announced and written. It's going to be written by Paula Lore, and we have. Do we know who the artist was on that? I didn't write it down. I don't know if they announced that.
I would assume they did, but I didn't check it.
Of course.
You also
they did.
didn't hit the hunger enough, Spencer.
I
Come on.
said hunger. I said hunger. I
hunger.
threw
You got to do more
I hit-
hun. The
hit hun.
hunger.
the
The
hunger.
hunger.
It's
Hunger.
even like highlighted
Hunger.
on the comic covers. Like
Yeah, you
the
gotta.
hun is in like a different color than Gur.
Now, why is it
You
called
can't
the
you can't just
Hunger?
pass it off as hunger.
Because this builds off of the next story arc, The City That Never Dies, and Hun is coming back from the dead, and he sure is mad.
Oh, it's Gavin Smith, by the way. We actually did know that. I remember reading that.
Okay.
And I just
There
looked it
we
up too.
I literally just got to the AIPT comics article.
Because it was
Uh,
like in one of the tweets, I remember seeing that, and it was like, oh, neato.
But yeah, this story is going to be about Ninjara and Slash fighting zombies led by Zombie Hun. Or like it sounds like Zombie Hun has taken. I don't know if they're fighting zombies led by Hun, but a Zombie Hun has showed up, and he's taking back over the
I would
dragons.
assume he has a zombie army. It seems like.
I cannot confirm that. I'm pretty sure the article just said that Zombie Hun is back and he's taken back over the Purple Dragons. So not well. I guess Hun has come back as a zombie and has taken over the Purple Dragons. So
That's
I would
awesome.
assume it like leaks over and other zombies come out. But if he doesn't have a zombie army, I mean, mistakes were made.
I'm okay with him kind of being like a little bit of a Solomon Grundy for a one-shot issue.
Hun wins pens too. All right. Anything else for Cox?
That's it.
Righty. I did not write this. This is under our games category. We had another Sony State of Play, where surprising no one, no information about the last running game was announced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
what a
just
bummer.
I'd be
wild that they are just
absolutely
axing.
shocked.
Yeah, they're just axing all of this. It's like, really?
I
No
mean, it might
game,
have
no
happened
movie.
like
No,
if it
it's
wasn't
still
a
officially in
switch
development.
over. Like if there wasn't a switch over with ownership and whatnot, but clearly Skydance doesn't want to go in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't want to do a movie, I can't imagine they want to like fund a game that was already kind of in trouble.
Yeah, didn't the studio like cut half its people years ago?
Yeah, which it was already kind of like a smaller, no-name-ish kind of studio, and then if like that gets gutted, like that to me speaks like they'd have to like really reinvest in things. So I would assume they just quietly let it die, or maybe it's like slowly on the back burner, and it'll come out because like you know how they release games, they're like yeah. TMNT VR, and it's kind of like a big thing, but it's also kind of just like, and here's a game that we're putting out.
Like
You know?
a tactical takedown.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking as I was saying all that, where they're like, yeah, here's a thing. But yeah, I'd be shocked if it ever happens in any time soon. But I think I remember I feel like like a no more than like a month or two ago, I saw like Tom Waltz like tweeting about it, saying it was like still in the works, but so I don't think it's necessarily been like actually canceled, but
Yeah, officially it is still in production, but Magic 8 Ball says outlook not so good.
Yeah.
it's definitely I'll put it this way, like people view it as like a big high profile thing, you know, like this would be like a huge game. Clearly it's not.
Yeah, but it's just funny because it's just like, yeah, you're probably not getting a game, no movie, but here's a novel.
Yeah, best we can do is a
It's like,
novelization.
the best we can do is a novelization. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, why?
And-
I mean,
and-
not that not that people can't make a good novel. Not that I don't enjoy a book from time to time. A book with no pictures from time to time.
No, it
But
has pictures.
oh, it has pictures.
It actually has a
Okay.
good chunk of pictures. I would say probably more like 10 or 15, if not more than that. Because you can see
this
like
came
in
out
the
on
book,
Tuesday,
like
right?
yeah, like the fourth or no, the
Yeah.
second, sorry.
Second.
Because like you know how like you look at a book spine and you can see like if pages are differently colored.
Mm-hmm.
There's at least like you can very clearly see at least like 10. So there's a good chunk. They're just black and white illustrations that are sprinkled in by the Scorzas. So it's pretty
It's just
cool. Like there's pictures for you, Spencer. You can.
It's just wild to me
Yay.
that like who good on Eric Burnham for making it, but like how did this come about to make a novelization of this comic? And like
I mean, it kind of makes
I don't
sense
know.
because I mean, it's also like weirdly slow, you know, because as is like the story of the weird like Last Ronin promotion. But if they were gonna do a movie, it makes sense to have things kind of in motion, you know. But it is also because it is kind of like who is this like for?
Yeah, I guess that's
Um,
my thought. Yeah.
but you know, I mean, people love books. Why not sell a book? And it's the Last Ronin in book form or whatever. Am I the only one that's gotten it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the painful irony of life. Me, maybe the biggest Ronin hater in the world.
It's one of those things
I
where
was
like
reading your crash out about it earlier.
I have a hard time I guess we have this pipeline, right, for media where it starts as a book, and then maybe it becomes a comic, but like it goes like book to movie, or book to TV show, but it never goes comic to novel. Like
I mean,
it's
there's been
so.
other like I haven't thought, but there's definitely other like superhero novels. I don't know if there's any that are like direct adaptations.
But yeah, that's what's so weird about it, is I've never watched a movie and it's just like I would love to read this as a novel.
I mean,
Like
I
I've
did that as
never
a
read a
kid. Like, I
comic.
remember, like, I really enjoyed I don't know what year it was, like the Godzilla movie everyone hates, like the Hollywood one.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I remember having like the novelization of that, and I liked it a lot. So there's definitely, and I don't know what reading trends are these days. It's been a long time, but there is a rich history of like novelizing things. So it's like, why not do it as a comic? But it is like you would think the people who are into like a comic, I don't know that they're like, yeah, add all the words to this, and then I'll read it even more.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, it's so interesting to me. Like I've just never heard of anything like it. Like making a novel of the comic. It is fascinating.
There are like if you go to like truck stops, sometimes you'll find like CDs that are like audiobooks of comics. And I don't know if those are like novelized in between that, but it
Maybe
does
that's the
seem
point of it. Maybe
yeah.
that's the point of it, is to create an audiobook so that like for the
There's
people who
no
just
audiobooks
refuse to
though.
read, even if there's a ton of pictures. Maybe that
It
was
does
their
feel weird to
thought,
be
huh?
like, did you enjoy this as 120 pages of pictures? Get ready for 300 pages of words. You'll love that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
don't
it just
know.
I've seen people on Reddit. There's because they flesh it out more, and I was talking in our chat like what's fleshed out, where it's like in the opening, what happens in the opening in like 2 pages becomes like 5-page chapter, which some parts are like, yeah, and I was telling you guys it's like you really didn't need to do that, like a paragraph suffices. And I haven't gotten super far into it yet, but like other folks were talking like, there's more about like the Leo Flash. This is I saw someone on Reddit talking about it where it's like you get more Leo and like his perspective and stuff. So there's definitely things you can like go through and expand upon. So it'll be interesting to see how this is received. But I was curious, like I did look for an audiobook, and as of now there's not one, which I would assume if they really planned it, they would have paid someone to read it and put it up there because audiobooks are like a huge market. So I would
the
imagine
thing
they're not doing
Yeah.
one.
yeah, the thing with a lot of Turtles fans is I don't know. I mean, it's kind of different now. There actually are more and more people who are actually into reading comics now and into the comics, I actually think, than there were, you know, 5 or 10 years ago. Um, but like with so many Ninja Turtles fans, it's like pulling teeth. Just so many people out there, it's pulling teeth just to get them to even read a comic book. Like with as few words that are in a comic book. Like I can't imagine them releasing a novel and there being like loads of Ninja Turtle fans being like, "I'm buying the novel." Like it's already so hard to get them just to read the few words that are in a comic book. Uh,
Yeah,
and it's not just applicable to Ninja Turtle fans. Like
Re-
it's just people.
Read this
because
novel
I'll
that
put it
may or may not actually connect to comics that you also didn't read. Like we
Yeah.
need that
like
kind of
I'll put it
context there.
this way:
Yeah.
from off the rip, how many pages does it take for the Ronin to get a bike?
20.
I can't remember. Yeah, 20 maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
No.
I'm talking in the novel. It's 20. I think
Oh,
in
the
the
novel.
In the
book
comic,
it's
I'm talking like in the comic.
4.
The You're at page 30 in the book when he gets a bike.
Wow, that's incredible. Because page 4 would also include the 2-page spread that just says like New York.
Yeah, like it's just like a overview of the city.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Wow.
there be words. There be words.
Yeah.
It's written. It's not like a hard read. It's like a
If you
pulpy
were
read. So I think if you're I wouldn't be discouraged about reading it. Like it's very readable, and I think if you enjoy the Ronin, you'll definitely enjoy the book. And I
Hmm.
also I got off watching Spider Noir, so it's kind of has that same kind of vibe. But
Here's the play. IDW hire me because I can make you a ton of money. So like, physical media is making a comeback, right? And if you were a kid back in the 90s, they sold these combination comic book and cassette tapes of Ninja
VHS.
Turtles.
It's a comic VHS.
No, it's a
Put it in your
combination.
VCR and jack that
You
baby.
get a God.
Keith, why is there paper stuck in the VCR? It's a new media, Mom. It's
Oh my
cool.
God. No, so you got a comic book and a cassette tape, and you could read along the comic book with the cassette tape. What they need is this novelization as an audiobook sold with the comic, and that way you can read along with it in that way.
But then it like splits out one panel and it just shows you that panel for like 4 minutes because it's like
Right.
this is
Just
technically what's
describing
covered.
every possible part of it. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Right.
I do wonder also, and again, who knows when this happened? Like, if there would have been a movie, how much like the book it would have been, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I will probably try and get it from my library just to like see what is different, but I don't know that I need it like around my house permanently.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's an audio book,
I don't need to see it.
there's an audio book, I'd maybe listen to it on my drive, just kind of
Yeah.
take it in.
I mean, there
It
could
is
be like
interesting
maybe
sometimes,
they just didn't care to do it like day and date, and they are working on one. I would imagine so, because like audiobooks are huge, so why not?
Yeah.
Um,
It also it is interesting sometimes to get a novelization. Like I have the one for Mutant Mayhem, and there's like subtle little differences in it that are kind of fun to spot out. But
yeah, I always loved as a kid. I loved the Star Wars movie novelizations.
yeah, just like,
Also,
really
because
different.
like they were done like by like Terry Brooks. Was it Terry Brooks, who like the fantasy author who did Sword of Shannara? Yeah. He did some of them.
Well, the one you should read that's really good is the Revenge of the Sith novelization by Matthew Stover. That one is like the best adaptation.
Like I think it's fun for movies because I mean, and then there's really no reason. Like it's weird for a comic because it's like it's already like you've already seen it visually, but it's fun for movies because it just like it expands upon scenes and you get into the character's like head, which is fun, And then it's like, oh, maybe this is what Darth Maul was thinking during the fight or whatever. Like some of that can be really neat, but it's just weird from a comic where it's like comics already do that. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
it's very interesting.
Movies don't have thought bubbles, but comics do. You should read Splinter in the Mind's Eye, which is the only Star Wars book I've read, which was supposed to be the
People
sequel to
say
Star Wars, and it was not great. I'm going to be honest with you, but it was
people
very
I thought
interesting.
people loved it. I thought that's highly regarded.
No, Splinters of the Mind Eye? No, absolutely not.
Isn't it like a book everybody tries to like get? I had the impression that people thought it was
So
cool.
it's novel. It's novel because it's like basically it was written after the first movie. Like in case the first movie didn't make a bunch of money and they still wanted to make a sequel, this is what the sequel
It's
would
like
have
an
been.
alternate. It's like an alternate
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, so it's like meant to be lower budget than Empire was, and it's a lot of like them crash landing on a planet, walking through a lot of mud. There's a very strong romance angle between Luke and Leia. Vader
Yeah.
shows up, but he just like falls into a hole at the end. Like it's very odd. It's very interesting.
Fun fact, it's where kyber crystals come from.
Yep. Yeah. Because
Because
they like meet another force sensitive person who has a kyber crystal, but it's like it amplifies the force. It's not a lightsaber adjacent thing.
well, no. So it's in Splinters of the Mind's Eye, it's the kyber crystal. Like it's the only one.
Oh.
And so it amplifies the force, and then so like Luke and so like at the end of the book, like Luke takes it with him and he like keeps it for years. And then like later on when he starts like the Jedi Academy and stuff, he finds that the kyber crystal like only amplified the force on the planet that they were on.
Oh,
And so,
interesting.
and so it's like super weak. So he actually does turn it into a lightsaber crystal later.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. and then I'm pretty sure that's not where the idea for kyber crystals like came from in the current canon, but like I remember that being kind of the impetus of like the word kyber kind of like becoming more common in the Star Wars fandom. And then also like it's spelled differently. Like the current canon kyber is Kyber, and this one was Kaibur.
Learn something every day.
But yeah, not a great novel by any novel. Just it was the first Star Wars novel.
All right. Well, that is gonna be our show this week.
Yeah, Spencer, what are we doing next week?
Next week we're gonna be covering Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. The 10th anniversary kind of sneaked up on us. We weren't ready for it, and apparently it was like when this episode comes out, basically, a little bit before that. So we're gonna actually do it now.
All right, so that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Can't wait to talk about that movie. Thank you all for listening to another episode of the Ninja Turtle Power Hour. It's late, we're all tired, but we love you anyway. That's why we do this. Also because we love talking about Ninja Turtles. Join our Discord at the link in our bio or hit us up on any of our socials.
All right, that's our show this week. Thank you again so much for listening, and until next time, cowabunga dudes.
Certified.
Booyah, Kasha.
Hot soup.
Are you guys caught up on the Shredder comic?
No,
I am not.
No.
I've been wanting to read it. I have every issue. I just have not been able to.
Unbelievable. They do in the Shredder comic. They do make Shredder too sexy. I will say,
Oh yeah.
You're reading it and it's like, I mean, in this most recent issue, he spends the entire opening scene just shirtless running around. And you're just like, you guys have done too much. You're doing too much.
On a scale of 1 to Keith, how does it make you feel while you read it?
It's a solid Keith for sure. For sure,
Yep. So a rigid Keith.
Right, that's quite. Yeah, it's quite a girthy feeling.
Right.
Jesus, girthy, huh?
Well, have you not been paying attention? That's how we describe Keith.
There's a reason they call him Dr. Pepper Keith.
There's a new twist, a new introduction of a thing at the end of the issue. Do you guys want to know what series it comes from?
Even telling
the
me
name?
There's a spoiler is a spoiler.
That's true.
Lay it on me.
Yeah.
It comes from the 2012 series.
Pigeon Pete?
And it could
No,
mean
Pete from '87.
It could mean another character's coming. So, just putting that out there.
Character?
Yeah, that's too much of a spoiler. You're just gonna you have
Everyone
to read
else
it, man.
Plug their virgin ears.
You're gonna have to read it, dude. You're gonna have to read it.
Fine, I'll pull it up right now.
Oh my god, you fucking computer!
Why haven't you been reading? Why haven't you been reading Shredder? It's amazing. It's great. Actually, like when I read the first few issues, I was like lukewarm on it. But as it's kept going, I am actually really, really enjoying it. It's really good.
It's all over now. Let's see.
I mean, I wouldn't say like this issue is it, right? Like it was during the first arc. It was like the last half of the first arc. It really, for me, like really kicks in. And then this
Shredder
issue
in Hell.
It's by Dan Waters.
Okay.
Where's my phone? I'll be right back.
What the fuck is this? Why is... God, I hate when pop-up ads play a goddamn song. What is this?
I mean, that's what happens when you use sketchy websites to pirate comics. You know?
Hey, that's... I mean, you made me. This is a world you want me to live in, Spencer.
You
You could have
forced
just
me.
told
You
me.
forced my hand. Forced
You
my
had your
hand.
friend asking you.
I can't just tell you with Mike and Keith here. I'll spoil it
They
for
knew
them
the
too.
risks. They knew
I
the
know you
risks.
don't care,
They can...
but they do.
Page 25's not loading. What is this? Load. Wait.
Honestly,
Interesting.
they kind of just use the name. They don't really look
I don't see the
just
name
like
though. Where's the name?
but you know, they have a different character that is their you know, that's like the Darth Vader to their stormtrooper kind of thing, you know. So and he could, you know, they could, it could, she could possibly show up.
Jeez. Um,
We don't know yet though. No guarantees.
I mean, I guess based on what it is, there's really only one thing that it could be. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Unless they just throw another curveball, because like I was expecting it to be a different character as I was reading it. I was actually waiting for them to throw in a 2003 character, but it wasn't a 2003 character, and I was pleasantly, you know, I was surprised. I was like, "Huh, this is interesting, an interesting take here."
what's the 2003 character would have been?
I was thinking it was going to be, viral.
Wait,
If you
sorry.
read it, it kind of makes
I checked
sense.
it. Did Spencer tell us what character it was?
No, I didn't.
You son of a bitch.
You wanted me to tell you? Do you guys just all want me to just tell you?
I'm
Or
just
do you guys
It's the end of issue 8, right?
I can't remember what issue is the last one I read, but it's the most recent one. If issue 8 is the most recent one, then yeah, it's issue 8. What does our news say? What does our news say came out last week? This week, but last week for when listeners are listening. Um, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. It took me a minute to get to the Shopee. Oh, it
I
is
mean,
Shredder number 8, and
that's
that was weeks ago.
it's pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Still not going to make me read Shredder though.
Why not?
Here's how. Look, here's how life works, Spencer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You either like read something naturally,
Mm-hmm.
or a friend recommends it, and that plants a seed in your brain to like never ever read it. You know.
Mm.
And then what happens is one day on a whim, roughly 10 years from now, I'll read it and then I'll excitedly tell you, and you'll tell me that you hope I die and that it's too late.
Wait. If it's what is it the one on the last page that you're
Yeah.
talking about? That's from 2012, 2012.
Yeah, it is from 2012. No, I was saying when I was reading the whole book, right, as before the reveal happens, I thought it was going to be a 2003 character. It was a 2012 thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm on board now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a while till we get to them, but no, I remember that. I liked that season. A lot of people don't. Maybe I'll feel differently when we revisit it.
Maybe.
If we revisit
McFarlane stand is cool as hell.
I'm just kidding.
If we revisit it.
It was funny. It was funny. My wife. I was telling my wife the schedule for the next couple weeks, until we finally start 2012, and she's like, "Finally."
You know, I have to say, I was wanting to I had the urge to kind of just like casually watch Batman versus Ninja Turtles.
Me
like
too.
this week.
I wanted to watch it for my birthday.
Yeah, and then in that now I kind of get what Keith is talking about with that show being a little too a little too much for like a young kid, right? I don't know. Maybe it was Keith talking
Really?
about it. There was someone talking
Yeah,
about it.
no, that was me. Yeah, like
Yeah.
there's 2 or 3 scenes where it's like way too bloody.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I can't watch that with my
Yeah.
2-year-old in the room, you know.
Are we talking like Mirage level bloody?
I don't know, like a dude gets his head chopped off and it falls on the ground. Like that's
Yeah, dude,
kind
So it's
of
like
Dude gets
it's like a quarter
a bloody
Mirage.
Yeah,
shuriken
Nice.
right in the forehead.
shuriken
Yeah.
in the head. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's sick. Like as an adult, it's cool, right? I like it, but also like my daughter likes Batman. You know, she kind of likes Ninja Turtles from me watching Ninja Turtles, and she'll sometimes watch it with me. Thinks it's fun.
Maybe
She'll
she'll
dance to
like
the theme song.
shurikens. Who are you to deny your daughter's
Yeah.
shurikens?
My buddy was
So
like,
like
would my 7-year-old boy love it? I'm like, yes, he would, but he probably shouldn't watch it till he's like 14
Oh, come
because of those couple
on.
scenes. Yeah.
Didn't you
They
guys
like
watch R-rated
they use a
movies
guy's
as a
severed
kid?
hand to open a door.
yeah.
It's good to teach kids about the world, you know.
And then you have like Donnie having like his whole arm just like snapped at that one point as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that part. Yeah.
Either way, I do want to watch this. I do have realized that like we're past due to cover either the Batman Ninja Turtles movie or the comic. You know, like we need to cover them at
Wait,
some
have we
point.
not?
No, we still haven't covered Batman Ninja Turtles, any of it.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Aren't we on 10 years of Batman Ninja Turtles the comic this year?
We could
No.
be. I was thinking about just like waiting for Batman Day and covering the comic, you know, and then maybe just make it a yearly thing where we cover a Batman Ninja Turtles thing. Or I don't know, I guess this year maybe cover the first comic and then watch the movie, you know, different for the next episode. I don't know. But I have been wanting to watch it, but I can't watch it because of my daughter.
Yeah. When was
It's,
the first Batman crossover? What year
I
was
want
it?
to say it was 2015?
The movie was 2019. Yeah, the first comic was December
2014, 2015?
December
2015?
2015.
Sounds right.
2016?
December 2015, and the original miniseries ended in May 2016.
So you're saying 2017?
Definitely not.
Keith, which year do you think it is?
I'm pretty sure Mike just looked it up and it said 2015.
I'm going with Keith. I'm going with Keith's answer.
Yeah.
Keith's answer is my answer.
I think we can trust
Well,
Keith.
it feels like it's more my answer though at this point.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I really
I've
Keith
co-opted
just
your-
adds
I've co-opted.
credibility there.
I've
It's mine
co-opted
now.
your
Mine's
answer.
bigger. Rule land. It's mine.
It's like what is that comic strip where it's like I made this and then it hands off to somebody and then the other person I like this. I made this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, great movie. I feel like watching it again, but having the time to do it when the kid is asleep has become a challenge.
Well, okay, so like I asked my wife, I was like, hey, like, do you want to watch a live action movie or an animated movie? Because I wanted to watch a movie for my birthday. And so like it was either Demolition Man or Batman versus Ninja Turtles.
Real Sophie's choice there.
You know what, like Caravan of Garbage is doing their they're doing like random like 90s sci-fi movies right now, and so they did like Starship Troopers, Demolition Man, Total Recall, and I forget what the fourth one is. I think that episode just came out like today. But it was like, man, Demolition Man was such a fun movie. Fifth Element. Yeah, Fifth Element's the fourth movie. And so like I really want to watch all of those.
I just know Demolition Man is that movie that was like randomly on in the middle of the day when I was flipping through channels during summer break. Just like one of those random just like movies that they would for some reason just like play like in the middle of the day. You know, I don't know why, like on like channel like 14 here or whatever. I don't know.
God, Demolition Man is like I don't know why I love that movie. So like it's set in like Southern California, so like I'm like, oh yeah, I love it. But when we were watching Starship Troopers, like the scene where they sign up for the military, and then like when they come back to like leave on the ship to go off to the branches that they join, that's the Los Angeles Convention Center, like right after it had been remodeled, because it was like one of the most like sci-fi looking buildings in like shooting distance from Hollywood. And it was like brand spanking new, so nobody would like realize that it was um so that nobody would realize it was actually uh like what it was. But then also Demolition Man also shot at the at the LA Convention Center. And a lot of it is like Southern California. I think some of it is in Irvine, because like Irvine is also like a planned community, so like it already kind of looked clean and futuristic in a way. Yeah, those two movies are just they're so funny because it's kind of a time capsule of Southern California.
Huh. I'm excited because Supergirl comes out on my birthday, so I'm gonna go see Supergirl.
I'm stupid excited for Supergirl. That's gonna be fun.
Have you guys seen the leaked photos of like Lex Luthor for the next Superman movie?
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
did you see did you see that the new Sonic and Sonic Justice League comic implies that Lex Luthor slept with Rouge the Bat?
I did see that. I kind of want more context because I am dubious of whether or not that's really what that meant. But
I mean, obviously
it is
it's
funny.
meant, but it's like it's the fact that those are both panels from the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is incredibly funny. But
Yeah,
I just
Lex
picked
Luthor saying that Rouge the Bat kept him up all night is funny.
well, especially because he's like in a robe offering her like sparkling water to drink. Like he's like setting the mood and everything. And that's why God. What was Ian Flynn thinking? But apparently
that's what he was thinking.
yeah, exactly. But apparently the next wave of like the figures, because I don't know if you've seen them at Target, like because they're doing the Sonic crossover with Justice League figures, where like Sonic's the Flash and Batman Shadow and all that.
Mm-hmm.
The next wave has leaked, and it's Eggman in the Lex Luthor power suit.
Yeah.
Yes, that's awesome.
But it's the 2-pack figures where so like Lex Luthor is like normal sized action figure and Eggman is like super tiny. Like he looks like a mini me compared to Lex Luthor.
Yeah, the thing that's just super weird to me about the DCU is just like the fact that you have like these people at all times running a psyop against it, basically. Like it's mostly Snyder fans, that just for some reason just have to get this universe canceled. That like anything that comes out, they have to like find something they hate about it and instantly just try to like share that as much as possible everywhere. And they also have to have bots helping them, right? Because like we know that like to release the Snyder Cut stuff had like an army of bots that was a part of it that helped it trend, which is also just wild to me that someone out there is paying for bots to try and like A, get a movie released, and then also B, get another movie universe canceled. Like the fact that we have like people who are just like dedicating time to actively run a psyop to get people to hate a movie universe blows my mind. It really is
people are
kind of dumb.
dedicated to their silliness.
If I even
Like,
had,
what if it's Vladimir Putin himself? Like he directed all the Russian bot farms.
it's Putin. That's who it is. I think personally, I think there's a Saudi prince that is just like a huge fan of the Snyder Cut, and I think he's behind all of it. Personally,
you just gotta follow.
I mean,
you just gotta follow the money.
Yeah, you got to do.
mean,
You
no
got to
one knows where
devote
the
your
money
life
is,
to
though.
investigating this, Spencer.
You see, if I dedicate my life to investigating this pointless thing, then I will be just like them.
Yeah.
Then I will become them.
So the only way to win is to let them win.
Yeah, basically. That's
what I'm
it.
hearing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then I will become just like them. And there will be no difference between them and me because I also care about something too
Okay,
much that I'm dedicating too much time to it.
Oh my.
Because at the end of the day, like this is just like a movie universe. Like I would love more of it. I want to see more of it. You know, it's cool, but it's just funny that there's people out there like running a psyop on this thing, trying to like convince people that that things suck. Like if something is too comic book accurate, they'll be like, oh, it looks stupid. If it's not comic book accurate enough, they'll be like, it's not comic book accurate enough. What's wrong with it? Like it's just constant, Like this new Lex suit, super comic book accurate, looks very comic booky. It's practical effects, like whatever, like all those things people love, but that they're turning around and being like, it looks dumb, and it's like, I mean, okay, but it looks like the comic book. Like,
like all superheroes like look dumb. Like this isn't the medium that they were designed for. So it's like, of course, putting this in live action is gonna look weird. Like
Mhm.
you'd be crazy to think it wouldn't look weird. So
Yeah.
I can never get behind it because it's like like people are mad about the new Wolverine game, for example.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, like why is his suit like healing with him? And it's like, well, because you'd have to like, do you expect Wolverine to change suits like after one fight? Like
That'd be
it's a
cool.
video game. No, it wouldn't.
That'd be cool. I mean, look, here's the thing. Like, obviously, it's not practical. To
He
like
doesn't even
work
do it in
that
the
into
comics.
the thing.
Why would you do that?
But if you're gonna do game mechanics where the suit gets destroyed and then the suit just heals itself, that is also stupid.
Sure. Like it's different with like, because like in the Spider-Man games, like his suit gets torn up if you get, your shit rocked, but or mollywopped as the kids say. Um but
Everyone's saying that.
yeah, everyone's been saying it. And it's like, but the suit stays like beat up and dirty a little bit until like the chapter, like until you beat that chapter or like change suits. But changing the suits isn't like, it's not what Peter is doing in the game. It's you as a player, you're changing the suit. So it's not like it doesn't matter as much, but like
There's
whereas
not like
like
a side quest of Peter like sewing in his room or anything.
yeah, exactly. Like you're like you unlock the suits, but like the canon suit that he wears the entire time is like the one designed for the game. The other ones are just like fun things that you can wear instead of that. But like the Wolverine, like his suit is kind of in like by making it that kind of mechanic where his suit heals with him, like that kind of makes it part of like his power set in a way. It's weird. And also like because Wolverine, like you're playing Wolverine, so like you can't really like explain it like you do in the comics. So it's like, how do you get around it? He's obviously going to take damage because it's Wolverine. And they
Like,
want it to be as gory as possible. So it's like, okay, like, well, let's get his shit rocked or mollywopped, as the kids say, and then like make his suit get torn up. But then it's like, okay, you have to address it now.
yeah, like the smarter way to do it is just say he has say he has like a suit with like adamantium fibers or some dumb shit that doesn't get torn, and then he has like bare sleeves, and so he's like bleeding that way or whatever. The cooler way, if they're not cowards, is he has a suit, you go into battle, and if you don't take damage, you're fine. And you get covered in blood, other people's blood, but you don't take damage yourself because you're a badass. If you do take damage, your suit does get cut up and torn, and eventually you end up like naked, and then it has to trigger like a side level where Wolverine has to get new clothes. So you either steal clothes from like one of the people you murdered and put it on, or you like go and you do like some kind of X-Men-y, like you brainwave to Jean and be like, hey, send me a new suit with like the X-Men plane or whatever, something dumb. You do like that, or you just keep walking around naked, and that's the reality of it, and that would be badass narratively.
I think I speak for everyone when I say I'm glad you're not a video game developer.
Hey man,
No,
if you want to
I
be
actually think if
if
you're
you
gonna
want to tell
have,
me you don't want to see Wolverine's penis and you're that homophobic, do you, man? But it's Pride Month, and so I want to
Uh,
see some dick.
I was a real apple. There was a real, pancake and waffle take on what I said.
No,
But you know,
it's a real dicks to dicks
as
take.
long
Quick
as you
question.
finally, as long as
Quick
you,
question.
you admit.
Is that bone also laced with adamantium?
I had a friend who actually did think that penises had a bone inside them. Which there's a certain, like, I forget what species it is. There's like a very
Not
specific
human.
thing where not humans, of course, but there's like
is
a type
it a
of like
species of
creature.
Wolverine? Is
No,
it Wolverine?
there is a creature that
Oh,
does have like a bone in their penis, but my friend literally thought we were at dinner just talking, and she made it known to us just through like whatever weirdo conversation we have that she did think that there was a bone inside the penis, and that's why they called it a boner. And that it's a beautiful moment when you can have that with a friend. Like there's so few moments in life where you get to tell your friend that they're like a total fucking idiot,
Right.
you know? And we still tease her
I
about it to this day, and it's a
I do
great
it
little thing.
every Thursday with you guys.
God, you got to it before me.
I could sense it.
Um, but I do seriously think it would be a cooler mechanic if Wolverine, like his clothes just don't recover and you just have to get new clothes.
I
Like I think
genuinely
that would
don't
be fun.
think. I genuinely don't think you think it's a cooler mechanic, but
No,
I agree.
I'm not bullshitting you. I'm like, if you're gonna design clothes that just destruct, like having them just heal back is stupid.
No, I agree. I agree. It's like you either make a boring side quest to go acquire new clothes after every fight,
No, you
or
only need that if you suck at the game and you take damage.
well, no, you're gonna take damage. Like that's
No,
part of the
no.
they
Plenty of people
specifically
no hit games.
sure, but they specifically designed Wolverine to take explicit damage. Like in the gameplay footage they just showed, like he takes a shotgun blast and it like tears a chunk out of his back. Like they did specifically want you to see like the gore on Wolverine. So like that's part of it.
Yeah, and I honestly argue like if you're leaning fully into that, part of it is like your suit is fucked, and like either you just like steal a shirt from a guy you just killed or something, and you put it on, like, and it would legit be cooler.
It
No,
would be a
because
good
then
way
it's
to
like
get all the like alternate costumes, like get Jean to deliver them to you or whatever.
mm, then you're
Like,
not unlocking the costumes. You're just press triangle to have Jean deliver a costume.
I mean, you could set like different criteria for like different costumes or whatever. Like, there's a way to fix it or whatever. But like, have you ever heard of? God, there was a good video for a long time, like the shandification of Fallout or whatever. I don't know the exact title, but it talks about like the reason why like in like a lot of games, and Fallout was the example that things suck, is that like things don't make sense. Like you go to a town and they're like it doesn't make like in its open world, but there's no possible way that town would have food or be able to survive. And you add simple things like, oh, there's a little farm on the outskirt of town, or this like this, and it's there's some book like Tristram Shandy or some crap where it's like the book goes into like very banal details, right? But those kind of banal details kind of help build the world because things make sense, right? A good modern example would be like a lot of Stephen King books. He'll spend a lot of time just like boring ish, like seem on the surface level like boring interactions between characters, but you spend that time with them so you eventually know those characters really well. So when shit goes down, like you actually do know and care about them instead of just telling you like, oh, you love this character. So I do seriously argue that like
Introduced as Pennywise like 3 chapters before Pennywise actually appears. Because it's all
I
just.
mean, I
world.
can't remember the specifics though. The kids see Pennywise in various states, but
Yeah.
But like Stephen King is my example of someone who's good of it, like writing like what feels like a boring detail, but like then it can be quite gripping, like just regular conversations between characters. So I am seriously arguing that it would make the game better if they had some kind of explanation for the suit rather than the suit heals itself.
I mean,
Because especially like
the way,
I was watching one other thing that kind of annoyed me is as you're watching that trailer, he's just like covered in blood,
yeah, and the
but
blood like
it
just
slowly
comes out.
goes away, and it's like
Yeah.
that's not like that's stupid. Like, and I understand like it doesn't matter necessarily, but like if you work in those details, like if he's just coated in blood the whole time, I would argue that it enhances it because then you really realize like wow, Wolverine is a absolute lunatic, you know, and people dealing with him would see him like coated in blood all the time, and it'd be like wow, this guy is a fuck nut.
I'm with
But yeah.
Cody though that if you're gonna have clothes tearing mechanics, make it so all the clothes can get torn off till he's naked.
Like
See,
they'd have obviously they'd
I
have to design like,
believe
oh, he has
I
a
believe
special adamantium crotch piece or something dumb,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, because they're
he
not
can
going to
have like
show
an
thongs,
adamantium
but
thong on, you know, like that just
yeah,
kind of covers, you know, like an adamantium jock strap, you know, just
I
cover
he's
believe
what it
like, look,
needs to.
the healing
I believe
factor doesn't
this-
apply to my wiener, so I got to protect the wiener.
Right. How did you learn that, Wolverine? You pop your claw one too many times.
I believe that Cody wants to see Wolverine's hog. I don't buy Spencer wanted to see that though. So
I'm just saying, if you're gonna do a mechanic where clothes get torn, make it so they can get all torn off, or at the very least, like do the artistic sort of like Goku clothes tearing, right? Where like basically by the end of it, like everything is torn, but at least the shirt, the whole shirt's just got to be gone at the very least.
Yeah, and he often gets
At some point.
he'll get like new clothes or a new suit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I do
Did you
appreciate that
guys
we're
ever
finally
play?
getting some hairy shoulder representation in video games as a hairy
Oh
shoulder
There you
person.
go.
Yeah.
and you know what? Like I really like Liam McIntyre for Wolverine. Like Cody, like it's Spartacus. It's Spartacus. The
Yeah,
second.
I don't
Spartacus.
think he's doing a gruff enough voice though. I think he could have gruffed it up more.
Okay, I'll give you that. It's very jarring because it's like we've had Steve Bloom be Wolverine for the last 20 years, and also
Yeah.
like God, the original animated Wolverine is back in X-Men 97. So it's like you have two examples of like the best Wolverines, and then like here's our first like new one. I think he looks the part. Like I really love the game cover. I think like I that's Wolverine to me. But I agree with you. Like he's not gruff enough.
It's weird because Liam does do gruffer voices. Like in
Yeah.
Spartacus, he was fairly gruff at times. So it's odd that they didn't have him go gruffer.
I'm curious to like see him play a live action Wolverine because like honestly, I do think of him as shorter than God, the first guy, the first Spartacus, the one who passed away.
Oh God, why?
Andy-
As soon as you say that, it leaves
Hugh
my
Jackman.
brain.
Andy
Andy, fucking yeah, Andy Whitfield.
But like I'm sure Liam McIntyre is like also 6 foot something.
Yeah, shorties too. Although one cool mechanic you could do with Wolverine is like he has like a new high pitched voice all the time once his vocal cords heal.
Mhm. Sounds like a
You
little
know?
baby for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And he's just like he's just smoking all the time to like fuck up his vocal cords and keep a cool voice.
Have any of you played the Insomniac Spider-Man?
No, I don't
No,
consort
I,
with Sony. I'm a Nintendo Xboxer for life.
yeah, I haven't played it, but
I was actually
I mean they do
wanting
look
to
cool.
buy a PlayStation 5, but this console generation is the shittiest one where things don't get cheaper. So that's not happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like it's the one generation that actually rewarded you for being an early adopter. Like,
For
I'm
real,
glad.
though. They're like, what if we increase prices? And it's like,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Like,
What
I'm
if I
glad
I was
got
really
don't ever
excited
buy
when
it?
they announced it because I'm a big fan of both Spyro and Ratchet and Clank. I just like all the stuff that studios put out, but man, it was not in my price range at the time, and it has not gotten
Yeah.
cheaper. So
I
like
do
I
think it's hilarious. Some people are talking like PS6 or like, what about the new one? And it's like, yeah, good luck with that. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Sony can't even get people to buy the PS5 Pro, like that came out like what 2 years ago now. Like this
Yeah, I mean,
generation is cooked. Like the Switch 2 genuinely is like the best thing in this generation. But like even then, like there's still not very many like very specific games that are coming out for it. There's some cool things where like like you can play Cyberpunk 2077 on the Switch 2. Like that is an incredible feat of
Mhm.
like just optimization. And they did it with The Witcher 3 on the original Switch. Like sure it takes a couple hits, but it's like it still looks like graphically fantastic. Like we just got Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth on it. And
Yeah,
it
it's
looks
capable enough. Like,
yeah, it looks better than the Xbox series version that came out.
yeah, but we've fully reached the point where it's like, if you want like the latest and greatest graphics, you should just get a PC, even though that's outrageous too. But like,
Yeah, like
there's no reason to like spend almost PC money on something that you can't upgrade. Like, what's the point?
yeah, like
yeah,
they announced that the Steam Deck was getting was like a top of the line Steam Deck, which really is just more RAM or more hard drive space and the OLED screen, and that's almost $1,000 now. And it's like
Yeah, like
that's
it's
almost a 5-year-old console.
yeah,
yeah. That is another way that data centers are just ruining everything. Like data centers are ruining gaming because they're buying up all the RAM and all of
Oh yeah,
the graphics cards and stuff. Like they're using all of it.
my
and
RAM,
then
my
when you also screw up global shipping
yeah.
and
Yeah, yeah. Then you
oil,
throw tariffs
which
in there
turns out
and oil. Yeah,
a lot of stuff is made from oil.
Who knew, right? Who knew
and
that
shipped with oil. And
oil
it
is
turns out,
part of the entire pipeline for action figures.
yeah, it turns out that I don't know, maybe we should have been moving towards using other green resources and things like that, not even just to save the planet, but just so that we're not so dependent on oil that the second someone decides, no, you're not using this thing anymore, that it doesn't screw everyone over.
Well, the other
Like,
part of it is it's like, since it's also a business, like, it doesn't behoove them to make it cheaper ever if they don't
yeah,
have to, you know?
yeah,
Like, there's no, like, we live under this magical thing, like, you're just gonna pump more oil and you'll get down to like, 30 cents a gallon. And it's like they just cut off supply once that does happen, so it
yeah,
doesn't reach that point. Like,
yeah.
it's so artificial. Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, you could print all the oil and print you could pump all the oil in the world and they'd be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
No, like the
No
315
more.
or whatever, the 315 or whatever that it was here in Utah, like that's what it was in Utah, like at the end of the sort of Biden administration, the 24, whatever. The 315 that it was sitting at, that's where they wanted it. And that's where it was going to stay because that's what they needed it to be for it to be the right amount of profitable for them. Like they had stopped basically, I don't know what the right word is, harvest drilling. They'd stopped drilling. They'd stopped bringing in oil because Saudi Arabians had started flooding the market with it. And so like we had a whole ton of just like tankers and other oil fields and stuff that just straight up like did not have workers out at them and were empty because they were just cutting off the supply because they wanted to keep it around the $3 a gallon that it was. Like that's where they want it. That's where it's going to be. Like unless some other country or like some other organization like OPEC wants to screw with oil prices to screw up the United States oil production so they can get a bigger share, which they do, like that's what it was when gas prices were dropping below $3 a gallon in here in Utah. Um unless that happens, then gas prices are going to stay what they were, and now they've gone up again. We're probably not going to get back down to that 315. That 315 is going to seem like, we're going to look back at that like the way people look back at the 30 cents a gallon in the 80s or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's
even
just
like when I was first driving, like it was below like $2 like all the time.
Yeah,
Like you could
I ran out of
like
gas on my
10
18th
bucks.
birthday, and it took $18 to fill up my tank.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like you could get a $5 for gas, and it was that got you like good places. But now it's like, here's you got about a gallon, buddy. Good job. It's like, thanks. I'm gonna go drive this baby off a cliff.
But no, like it's crazy how we just have these people straight up just arguing like we should be totally dependent on this one resource and not invest in any other resources. That would be a terrible idea. And of course it's oil, wanting to keep selling oil, like no duh.
We got clean coal too.
But
Cool.
but strategically as a country, it makes sense to diversify everywhere you're getting your energy from. Like not even talking about the environment. Just diversify everywhere you're getting your energy from so that if something happens, you still have energy and the costs don't, kill you. It doesn't hurt you that bad. Like it's just so stupid that we're like, oh, no, we got to be completely dependent and keep using this one resource. We can't change. Like that's so unstrategic and definitely like corruption. Like the only reason why you'd want to do that is because you have the person selling that stuff paying you a lot of money. Like that's it.
This all sounds like commie talk.
I think the Chinese have gotten to Spencer.
It was
probably me. He listened to that song. He listened to the red something in the sky.
Damn it, Cody.
Song,
We warned
it
you.
Stirred his heart. It got him. I knew
it brainwashed me. It worked.
Full on Chi-Com Marxist Leninist.
Full on Pinko, yeah.
I mean, the thing is like I just believe in not having people get paid off by businesses that have that are only interested in making more money and nothing else. They would watch
Spencer
the world
went to
burn
Cuba twice
if they got
is all
if they got a couple pennies. If they could give just a couple more pennies to the shareholders, they would light the whole world on fire. And like that's a problem. And so, yeah, I just think the government shouldn't be, corrupt, shouldn't be beholden to money, because that's a way that everyone just kind of gets screwed over. If that's socialism, then I'm a socialist.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. I think that we can be smart in how we build infrastructure and invest in things. Like that's, if that's socialism, then I'm a socialist. Like capitalism does not concern itself with solving problems. It concerns itself with making more money, and making more money does not always help everybody out in the long term. That's kind of
it'll
you got to intervene.
Trickle down, buddy. You just got to wait for it to trickle more.
Yeah.
It's a slow
the system.
It's only been 40 years.
It's gonna trickle all over us. Just gotta, just look up, close your eyes, and let it trickle all over you.
Right.
Yeah, the system whose entire point is to make things trickle up, is to make the money trickle up to the very top, is to get it to the top. Yes, that system is going to trickle down the money to you.
We've only given it 40 years. Give it another like 80, and we'll be fine. No big deal.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Like it's funny because like we give money to like the massive corporations and they just turn it right into stock buybacks with their tax cuts and everything else. Where if you actually give that to like the average American person, consumer, even if we go and waste it on the stupidest crap, if you're just like, yeah, I used my stimulus
to work, that makes you feel good, buddy.
Yeah, I used my stimulus check to go buy a boat. Like you ended up having to go to the place where they sell boats, where they had to hire a salesman to tend to you. Like you create more jobs by giving money to the consumers, not by giving money to giant businesses that just buy stock buybacks, and it just stays up at the top and never gets down to the workers. Like this whole myth that we have that the billionaires create jobs is a load of bull. All right, guys, because who really creates the jobs is us, the people who go and buy stuff, because they wouldn't have anyone to sell anything to if, there wouldn't be any jobs for you to sell things to people or to build things for people or to make anything for people if people didn't want those things. And, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense to give money to, especially in a system that's meant to move wealth to the top. You give it to the bottom, and as it makes its way up to the top, it can give more jobs. Anyway,
What's
Welcome
the
to the
Simpsons?
Thinker
Is it the news guy who he reads off the thing about like we'll all be taking golden showers, and then the crew's laughing at him and he gets mad? I'm pretty sure.
Amazing.
anyway, listen to Optimist Economy, great podcast. Basically, most of my economic knowledge comes from there. Knowing how the economy kind of works, I have gotten a much better idea of it.
Yeah, being an adult teaches you,
And also being an adult. Yeah, no, like working at a company and being like, none of these decisions are made democratically. Like there's a guy at the top who tells me what to do and tells me when I get to wake up in the morning because I have to be there at that time.
Yeah.
And all the things that come with it, and you kind of realize that the hierarchical system of supposed meritocracy, it doesn't exist. It's not real. No one actually gets anything from merit. They get it from knowing the guy and being his friend and whatever else, and that's the guy that gets promoted. It's never the guy that actually works really, really hard. Not that I'm the guy that works really, really hard, but I've seen guys that work really, really hard and never get promoted because they don't spend their time hobnobbing the foreman, right? Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, you got a hobnob.
You got a hobnob.
Getting
Anyway,
promoted
Hobbs,
also
we're
sucks.
running up on
for
an
the
hour
record.
now. Should we start recording?
We really should. I just want to close with saying the older I get, the more I hate capitalism. Anyway.
Sorry,
yeah,
this isn't. We're only talking about one thing tonight.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, we got time.
But it is one long thing and one good thing. Anyway, I'm gonna hurry and give my daughter a hug. Good night, real quick though.